It's time to tee it up and kick it off. It's time for the Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week. Presented by Hatch Toyota. Sports Zone Radio brings you unmatched coverage of football from around the White Mountains and beyond. No one does it like Sports Zone Radio. And now you can live stream HD video of our broadcast coverage exclusively at sportszone123.com and on the Sports Zone Radio mobile app. All part of the Hatch Toyota Friday Night Football Show. The Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week is presented by Hatch Toyota. Chaz Hatch refuses to lose a deal over $1. Hard-hitting broadcast coverage of White Mountains football is up next. Now let's take you out to the field and join our broadcast team for tonight's Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week.
Well, that was perfect timing. We welcome you out tonight to the Snowflake High School quarterfinals of the 4A playoffs. Number 7 and defending state 4A champions Mica Mountain Thunderbolts are here tonight. Visitors to your Snowflake Lobos. And we welcome you out. This is a great atmosphere out here tonight. Very excited. Good crowd. You're feeling all the feels of playoff football here tonight. Good. So we're trying to work through a little bit of headphone issues here with my partner tonight, but we'll try to get that figured out. But the Mica Mountain Thunderbolts come running out on the field. We've got about just under a couple of minutes here before we get this one started as the Snowflake Lobos get ready to go. But I wanted to talk a little bit about this team tonight and what we should expect a little bit from this football game tonight. So Mica Mountain, as I mentioned, number 7 coming in here tonight. They have a record. They had a season record of 8-2, and they had a great year. Like I said, they're the defending state champions in the 4A, and they come in here with an 8-2 record. They have won their first. No, they came in number 7, so they had a bye week also. So they had their first playoff game last week and won, and convincing. It was 35-0, same score as the Snowflake game last week, as the Lobos take the field. But the Lobos, I know, are not underestimating this team as they come in at number 7. They were preseason ranked number 1 coming in, and defending state champs. As you would expect, they come in tonight, the Lobos number 2 in the state, and ready to go up against the Thunderbolts tonight. But like I was mentioning, they do not want to underestimate this Thunderbolt team. They've got a couple players that we're going to mention that are pretty stand out. And the first one that I'm going to mention is number 9. His name is Broden Schmidt. He's a senior linebacker. He was a huge part of this state championship game or team last year. He's their middle linebacker. He is listed at 6'2", 220 pounds, and he's every bit of that. The other ones mentioned, we know that the quarterback throws to number 4, Caden Watson. He's a junior, 6'1", 160. And then the other on the defensive side is number 13, Riley Carson. He's a defensive end. And you'll hear about him a lot tonight also. Unfortunately, last week they had one of their other best defensive players, a defensive end on the other side. He got in a fight in last week's game, and he is ineligible to play tonight. So you will not be hearing from him, and he is a standout defensive player. He's 6'6", 200 and something pounds. So he's going to hurt that defense tonight not being available. So captains tonight for the Lobos, number 4, that's Hayden Nichols. Number 68, that is Wyatt Johnson. Number 44 is Talmadge Lucas. And number 7, Gian Jones are the captains for the Lobos tonight for Mica Mountain. Number 11 is Jaden Christ. Number 9, I believe that's number 9, that's Broden Schmidt. Number 13, we've mentioned Riley Carson. And number 5, Antonio Velasco, senior linebacker running back. So those are your captains tonight. The Lobos win the toss, and they are going to defer to the second half. So the Lobos will be kicking off to Mica Mountain, and I'm going to bring in, I think we got his headphones all set. I'm going to bring in my partner tonight, my broadcasting partner, Paul Johnson. And excited to have you here, Paul. Excited to do this game with you tonight.
Thanks, Pat. I appreciate it. I'm excited for this game. This is football weather. I think we're right at 42 degrees here at kickoff here in Snowflake. And it's a crisp night, a good night for playoff football. Looking forward to watching these two teams. This is going to be a good test for Mica Mountain and for the Snowflake Lobos, number 2 and number 7, facing off in the quarterfinals here. And just excited for I think it's going to be a little bit of a defensive battle and an offensive showdown. So let's go watch some football.
I agree with you, Paul. I think this is going to be a matter of, and it usually is, and I say this a lot, but as we all know, football is a game of momentum. And I think whoever, has some turnovers tonight, make some basic mistakes, jumping off sides, penalties, they are going to be the losing team tonight. And so this is going to be two really good football teams. They're going to have to come out and execute, but I totally agree with Paul. This is going to be a defensive battle. Mica Mountain has not given up very much points this year, but they really haven't faced the opponents that the Lobos have faced this year. And the Lobos definitely have the upper hand when it comes to offense against offense. But defensively, they're pretty similar, but I would give the Lobos a little bit of an upper hand also on defense. So as the Lobos get ready to kick off this quarterfinal matchup here at Snowflake High School, number 7 Mica Mountain, defending state champions against the number 2 Snowflake Lobos. Number 14 for the Lobos gets ready to kick off. That's McCoy Norton, sophomore kicker. And he slips as he kicks it, goes through the legs of a defender, picked up a lot of pursuit, great pursuit by the Lobos, tackles, and the Mica Mountain Thunderbolts will start their first possession of the game at about their own 23-27. Nope, that is 28-yard line.
Great tackle there by Christian Smith, coming in from the outside and just using that speed, using those wheels to get around. And what a form tackle by Christian Smith, hitting him low, and a great way to start off this game.
Absolutely. This Mica Mountain team is gonna be a little heavier up front than the Lobos, but the Lobos have done really well when it comes to size versus speed this year against opposing teams. So Mica Mountain lined up in shotguns, receiver to the right, running back to the right, running back to the left. We're going to start this game with a flag. And this is going to be an offsides on the Lobos, so not a good way to start this football game as the Lobos jump off sides or line up offsides maybe. But that's going to bring this to the 33-yard line, and it's going to be 1st and 5. Mica Mountain in the same formation, 2 receivers left, 1 to the right, shotgun formation, hands off. Outside, he's trying to hit the corner. It does. Great job and great tackle by Gian Jones out there. There is another flag on the play.
Yeah, I think this is going to be coming back, Pat. Looked like there was a little bit of a hold on the outside there. Holding, on the offense. So far, quarterfinal game, you would think that your team's pretty dialed in. We've got 2 penalties in 2 plays. Back-to-back, not a good start for either team.
Yeah, fortunately for the Lobos, that kind of offset their penalty and even pushed them back another 5. So this is going to be 1st and 15. And I'm thinking that that's probably going to be it. I don't know if the little bit of nerves out there tonight or what, but you're going to see this game clean up, I promise. This is going to be a battle tonight. So same formation. Snap is good. Hand off to the second man through, and there are the Lobos. That is number 55 for the Lobos making that tackle. That's Isaac Woodside. And that's going to be just a gain of a couple on the play.
Isaac Woodside doing a good job of just getting penetration on that line and getting to where he can make a play on the receiver, hitting him low and taking out his legs. And
I think I might have missed that one, Paul. It looked like it was number 4, Hayden Nichols, that made the initial hit. Woodside kind of cleaned it up. So nice job by that Lobo middle linebacker. Back to pass for Mica Mountain down the sideline. There's Gian Jones, goes up. He might have got a fingertip on it, off the fingertips of the receiver, though. And incomplete.
Really impressed with Jaden Christ. That was a clean ball. He looks pretty comfortable as he sits back in the pocket there and just throws a bullet to his tall receiver, number 1, Bryce Gilmore, 6'3", 205, just out of the fingertips of Gian Jones. Man, Gion's not a short kid and definitely has some athletic ability to get up and get that ball, but just out of his fingertips for an incomplete pass.
That was a great pass and very close to being completed. So here we go, big play here, 3rd down and 14 for the Thunderbolts. 2 receivers left. They got 2 with 1 in motion going to the left. Here's a pass out to the flats. There is a few Lobos. They are trying to get to that first down. I think he's going to go out of bounds just short of the first down. So it's going to bring up 4th down and short on the Thunderbolt 37-yard line. So they've got 4th and 1 here. What do you think, Paul? You think they're going to go for it? This is risky business right here.
Yeah, this early in the game. There's still a lot of game left to play. They're lined up almost like they're going to go for this. I wouldn't be surprised if you try to get a hard count or something right here to just get the Lobos to jump offside. No, it looks like they're going to go ahead and punt the ball.
Yeah, they got a quarterback in shotgun, but he just loaded up and punted. They're pretty similar when it comes to that as the Lobos are. They'll just line up with their quarterback and punt, and that's a great punt. Going to take the Lobos to their own 19-yard line. Lobos, great job, first possession, being able to stop the Thunderbolts with a big penalty, helped them out a lot. But the Lobos will start this possession on their own 19.
Yeah, great job by the Lobo defense. Look, we talked before this game, Pat, about how this cold might come into play a little bit for Mica Mountain coming down out of Tucson. And, yeah, that offense looked like it might be just a little on the slow side, trying to get used to this cold weather.
Yeah, they almost picked up that first down. Like I said, just a yard short as the Lobos, with their first play, Jacob Leduc hands off. Well, fake handoff to Brenner Green. And little short pass out to Gian Jones. Kind of faked the handoff over to the left, threw it back over to the right to Gian. That's going to be a gain of 1.
Yeah, Caden Watson, number 4 from Mica Mountain, doing a good job of sniffing that one out. Kind of just a little screen pass set up over to the right side, and he did a good job of just getting back there and breaking up that play.
Here's the Lobos. Actually, they lost a yard on that. Excuse me, that's 2nd and 11. Here's Jacob Leduc. He does not pitch, breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle, finds a little bit of room in the middle of the field. Going to bring it out all the way across the 40-yard line. Nice read by Jacob Leduc there, getting a great pickup for the Lobos.
Love seeing this from Jacob Leduc. He does such a good job at running that option and not afraid as a quarterback to just tuck and run, and hit several times on that play, broke several tackles, and was able to pick up a huge first down for Snowflake.
Gain of 21 yards for Leduc on that play. 1st and 10 on the Lobo 40-yard line. Leduc with the handoff to Green. He takes it right up the middle, which you don't see a whole lot from the Lobos. And Mica Mountain with the great defensive play. That's going to be no gain on the play.
Mica Mountain doing just a good job of stacking up the middle there. I'm sure they've watched plenty of film on Snowflake, and they know Brenner Green. They know that if this guy gets going, he's like a locomotive. He just keeps going and going. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do everything they can to try and contain him tonight.
Yeah, I guarantee you that big middle linebacker, number 9, has his eyes on number 33 all night tonight. So Snowflake with the bunches right. Little fumble. Jacob Leduc luckily catches it, falls on it, but that is a huge mistake by the Lobos. That's going to be 2 yards loss and going to bring up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 12.
Yeah, that's not stuff you like to see this late into the season. between a center and a quarterback. Just looked like the snap came a little strong. Maybe Jacob wasn't ready for it and fumbled that snap and puts Snowflake in a tough position here early in this game with a long third down.
3rd and 12, approaching 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. They've got 3 receivers to the right. LeDuc in the shotgun, back to pass. Going to throw it out to Gian Jones. He was trying to get to the sticks. Went through his hands. Going to be incomplete. Is going to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, Gian Jones just trying to get down past that first down marker and doing a little out route. And Jacob threw a nice ball just in and out of the hands of Gian Jones, and it's going to make Snowflake punt this ball away.
Jacob LeDuc really close to having that one blocked, but a nice job getting it away. And the Thunderbolts will start their second possession on their own 32-yard line. So good job, as we mentioned, Paul, before the game. Defensive battle it's going to be tonight as both teams come out and able to stop each other. Fortunately for the Lobos, they were able to get a 21-yard run from Jacob LeDuc, and that's been the biggest play of the game so far. So,
yeah, both teams starting out just a little slow here. We'll see Mica Mountain's second possession here. We'll see if they can get their offense going.
Snap is good. Handoff to the lone running back. Nice job by the Lobos. Gain of almost 3 on the play. Going to bring up 2nd and 7.
Yeah, number 27, freshman Ziggy Olberg crashing in on that, making the tackle. Super impressed with this young man as a freshman, starting varsity all season, and just you would never know with his size and his ability that he's a freshman athlete, but just done such a good job and making his presence known early on tonight in this game.
2nd and 7 for the Thunderbolts. Man in motion, snap over to the left, hands it off to that man in motion. Great pursuit by the Lobos. Going to be a gain of 2. Going to bring up another 3rd down for the Thunderbolts, but nice job by the Lobos there as we'll try to get a number for you on that tackle.
Yeah, just a little jet sweep there to number 13, Riley Carson, one of the names that you mentioned early, Pat. It looks like already they've gone to him several times, and I think he's going to be a big presence for this Mica Mountain offense tonight.
3rd down and 5 for the Thunderbolts on their own 37-yard line. Oh, right through the hands. A lot of pressure by the Lobos. Quarterback rolled to his right, had a receiver, but was that Raven?
Mason,
number 5,
yeah,
Raven.
Broken up by Mason Raven there, in and out of his hands. I thought it was going to be an interception, but just wasn't able to come up with the ball.
And almost ended up being a completion. Went through the hands of Raven and then through the arms of the intended receiver. But a nice job by Raven, kind of cut in front of that one. Had a huge opportunity for an interception there as the Thunderbolts line up to punt. Snap is good. Punt is shanked a little bit over to the right. They're going to let this one go. And it looks like the kind of the way things are going tonight, every possession is going to start at about the 30-yard line.
Yeah, so far that's how it's played out. Wanted to mention Jaden Chris, their quarterback, as you saw in that last possession, not afraid to scramble. Snowflake did a good job of getting pressure on him, and watching highlights from their game last week, Jaden likes to scramble, and he does a really good job at it. He's pretty quick on his feet and does a good job of getting outside the pocket, but just wasn't able to connect with his receiver there. And now we'll go back to Snowflake and see what they can do on offense.
There goes the Lobos. Handoff to Brenner. Not much happening for Green on that play. He's maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe even a loss of a half a yard, but that's going to bring up another 2nd and 11 for the Lobos.
Yeah, Snowflake's starting to try to stretch out this offense a little bit, getting Brenner Green outside. But Mica Mountain, as they did in the first possession, just doing a good job of sniffing him out. Like you said, those backers, I'm sure, are going to be keyed in on him all night long and stop the Lobos at the line of scrimmage.
Kind of a different formation here. Handoff again to Green. They had 2 running backs beside LeDuc with Green behind, and they handed off to Green. He's going to pick up a couple of yards on that. but still going to bring up a 3rd and 9.
Broden Schmidt, number 9, had a huge game last week against Lake Havasu, and he's making his presence known already tonight. I think most of the tackles on Brenner Green have come from number 9, doing a good job at that backer position.
3rd and 9, Leduc. A lot of pressure up front. Throws a little pass out to Christian Smith, and he's going to be hit as he catches it by number 13. That's going to be complete. It's going to be complete for -1. They're going to be right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Mica Mountain just sending a blitz right up the middle. Number 9, Broden Schmidt, almost connected with the quarterback on that blitz. And Jacob Leduc just trying to get it out quick to Christian Smith. And unfortunately, Christian bobbled the ball a little bit and just didn't have any time before he was hit by the defender to make a play.
So Lobos 3 and out on this position as Leduc lines up to punt. He's going to get a good punt off. It's going to go over the receiver's head, and that's going to roll clear down to the Thunderbolt 14-yard line. And we are going to take a quick break, and we will be back with the start of this 3rd possession for the Thunderbolts.
It's here and it's huge. Black Friday all month long at Hatch Toyota. Buy a Tundra, get a Tundra. Buy a new Toyota Tundra and get a Yeti Tundra 45 cooler free. Plus get up to $6,000 off MSRP and 0.99% financing for 72 months. Tundra is power, rugged, advanced, unstoppable. All models, all colors, in stock and ready to roll. Buy a Tundra, score a Yeti Tundra 45 free. Hatch Toyota in the Northern Arizona Auto Mall or hatchtoyota.com.
You don't have to drive hours for top-notch healthcare. We've got it right here at White Mountain Regional Medical Center's Rural Health Clinic in Springerville. Heart skipping a beat? Our cardiologists have you covered. Achy feet? Our podiatry team's a step ahead. From pulmonology to orthopedics and mental and behavioral health, we treat you, not just the chart. White Mountain Regional Medical Center, empowering a healthier community.
All right, welcome back. You're listening to Sports Zone Radio, presented by Hatch Toyota. First play of that possession, little 4-yard pass for the Thunderbolts, brings them out to their 18-yard line. There's a fake, a little shot right up the middle of the field, right off the fingertips again of his receiver. That's going to be incomplete. Going to bring up another 3rd down for the Thunderbolts.
Yeah, so far, Jaden Chris just sitting back comfortably in that pocket and slings a bullet right up the middle to his main target so far, Riley Carson, number 13, and just a little out of his reach, out of his hands, and going to bring up another big down for Mica Mountain. So far, Pat, both teams have struggled to get anything going on offensively.
Big 3rd down, 3rd and 6. Thunderbolts in shotgun, man in motion, that's number 13. He's going to fling it out to him. And right there to meet him is Reed, number 88. But he got to the sticks. He's going to have just enough for the 1st down. That's going to be a gain. That's going to be a gain of 5 yards and give him just enough, actually 6 yards, and give him just enough for the 1st down.
Jaden Chris doing a good job of having the pocket collapse a little bit around him and just stepping up, taking a little step up and doing a little sidearm sling to his target, Riley Carson, and able to get the 1st down.
Ball's on the 25-yard line of the Thunderbolts, 1st and 10. Approaching 3 minutes to go in this 1st quarter. Handoff, trying to hit that edge, and there's the Lobos. Not much going on there, but a nice job kind of getting as much as he could. That's going to be a gain of 3 on the play.
Yeah, handoff to number 26, Colin Axford, trying to spread that offense out to the left side, but little do they know they got big Ziggy Oberg over on that side. They're going to have to watch running to the left.
What do they have Ziggy listed at? Ziggy Oberg, as we all know, as a freshman. He's 6'4", 245-pound freshman on that defensive line for the Lobos. 2nd and 7, high snap, handoff to first man through. There's the Lobos again. Gain of 1 on that play, going to bring up another 3rd down for the Thunderbolts. It's going to be 3rd and 6.
Yeah, Snowflake line doing a good job so far of containing that inside, these inside runs. Again, I think I see number 27, Ziggy Olberg, getting up from that pile. And as always, Hayden Nichols leading this defense. Not a big body, but a big presence on that defensive side of Snowflake. Hayden Nichols just all over the field. Such a good linebacker. We're going to get a penalty here on Mica Mountain.
False start on the offense, going to bring them back another 5 yards, which doesn't help their cause. 3rd down and 11. Paul, the Lobos really need to be focused right here on number 13. That's who they go to in these situations is number 13 for Mica Mountain. That is, as Paul has mentioned a few times, Riley Carson tonight. So he's lined up on that left side, on the visitor side. 2 receivers to the right. He's got a running back behind him and one beside him. Shotgun formation, back to pass, looking to that way to number 13. And that is a perfect pass and completed to number 13, just as expected. And just a great athletic play there. Great throw, great catch for the Thunderbolts.
Yeah, huge play for Mica Mountain. You could tell from the second Jaden dropped back, he took literally 1-2 steps, looked at his main target, and threw that ball up. Beautiful ball, well placed, just out of the arms of the defender. And a big catch for number 13, Riley Carson.
Going to hand it off to middle of the field. A nice run this time by number 26. That's going to be a gain of 10 yards. And a nice pickup, probably their biggest pickup. I had 9 yards previously on all of the plays, and that picked up, 9 yards is what they're saying. So.
Yeah, Pat, you said this game was going to come down to momentum, and so far we're seeing just that. Not much momentum by either side at the start. And now Mica Mountain moving the ball and threatening here, about to be in the red zone in Snowflake territory.
Back to pass again, looking for number 13 again. He kind of slips, and that's going to be incomplete.
Yeah. Jaden Christ again looking for his main target, number 13, and it looked like Riley just fell down just before that out route. Wasn't able to come up with the ball, but.
So 3rd down and 1. They're definitely in four down territory here as they're on the Lobo 24-yard line. They're going to hand it off to the first man through. There's the Lobos. I don't know if he got it or not, but he's dang close.
Yeah, Snowflake doing a good job of crashing the middle and trying to stack up that pile. This is going to all come down to the spot, Pat. It looks like from where the official's at, it might be a 1st down.
They didn't call timeout. They're going to say this is 4th down. No gain on the play. So this is going to be 4th and inches here. And this is going to end. This first quarter is going to end before the snap gets off. So we'll start this second quarter with a 4th and 1 opportunity on the Lobo 24-yard line for the Thunderbolts. So we'll take a break. We'll come back to the start of the second quarter. You're listening to the Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week presented by Hatch Toyota.
The Black Friday sales event is on at Hatch Toyota. Save big bucks on Tundra, up to $6,000 off plus 0.99% for 72 months. Or blast it to a new Tacoma, up to $3,000 off plus 1.99% for 60 months or 2.99% for 72 months. Over 175 trucks inbound and on the ground. All models, all colors, all ready to roll. Built tough, built bold, built for Arizona. Save big bucks on trucks during the Black Friday sales event. Only at Hatch Toyota in Sholo or HatchToyota.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing your best of the White Mountains 2025 Best Propane Company, Owens Energy. In fact, it's their 5th consecutive win in a row. Owens has been proudly serving our community for more than 25 years, supporting local organizations, providing dependable service, and now an official partner of the Sports Zone's Friday Night Football Show. It's all about propane at Owens Energy, a local family-owned business with friendly, reliable service right here in Arizona's White Mountains. Owens Energy, your White Mountains propane provider.
All right, 4th and inches here, lined up in shotgun formation. Hands it to the first man through. He's going to easily get the first down. And what a big play for the Thunderbolts to keep this drive alive. That one's going to go all the way down. That was a gain of about 3. It's going to be placed right at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, Snowflake substituting players here. They tried to stack the box there. I think they knew what Mica was going to be running, and Mica just gave a quick handoff to the right side, and number 26, the Colin Axford, their running back, was able to pick up the first down, which is going to put Mica Mountain in the red zone.
1st and 10 for the Thunderbolts on the Lobo 20-yard line. There's Carson in motion. Going to hand it off again, and there's Hayden Nichols. Nice job. That's going to be a gain of 1 on the play.
Hayden Nichols getting into the backfield, disrupting all kinds of things. Does such a good job of getting penetration early and making that tackle before the back even knew what to do.
Start of the second quarter here. Score so far 0-0, but Mica Mountain threatening here in the red zone. 2nd down and 9 on the Lobo 19-yard line. There's going to be another flag on the play, and they're going to call a penalty on that receiver out here. And it's going to be a false start, going to push the Thunderbolts back 5 yards. Going to be 2nd and 14 for the Thunderbolts. I don't know anything about Mica's kicking game. I know that is a huge positive when you have a good kicker, and in a game like this, to get any points up on the board is going to be big. So,
yeah, this is huge for this Snowflake defense. They've got to fight hard and fight deep here. We're going to see who draws first blood.
Man in motion. Quarterback back to pass. He's just going to run it. He's going to be met out there by, that's number 2, that's King. And gains a couple on the play, so that's going to be a gain of 2, but going to still bring up a third and about 12 on the play, on this play.
Yeah, Mica's quarterback, number 11, Jaden Christ, again, just feeling a little bit of pressure, and on those quick feet, does a good job of getting to the outside, but Irvin King coming up and making a great open field tackle, only allowing Jaden to pick up just a few yards, leaving him up for a big 3rd down here.
Bunches to the left this time for the Thunderbolts. They're going to face the hand up. They're going to go a little counter play, and there's going to be another flag. I think that is going to be another holding on the Thunderbolts. So we'll see what this is called. But that was a pickup of about 7 on the play, and it's going to be holding on the Thunderbolts. So that's going to bring them back another 10 yards at the spot of the foul, which looks like it happened at about the 21-yard line. So that's going to bring them all the way back to the 31-yard line, which is a huge win for the Lobos when it comes to, like we talked about, if they can't do anything here on this 3rd down, they're going – I don't know what their kicking game's like, so we'll see. Yeah.
Snowflake's really got to take advantage here. Mica Mountain getting in the red zone and then just stalling out with several penalties here, and this could play out big for Snowflake if they can take advantage of these penalties and hold Mica Mountain from getting any points on the board here in the second quarter.
Again, watch out for number 13. He's coming in motion across into this trips. Quarterback back to pass. And this referee, he might seem like he's picking on the Thunderbolts a little bit, but as you watch this replay, you'll see that Thunderbolt receiver coming in motion, and he goes forward before the ball is snapped, and that's what they're calling. So that's another 5-yard penalty as you watch. 13 right here. He just kind of starts heading upfield before the snap, and that's going to be a penalty every time. So that's going to bring the ball out to the 36-yard line. This is going to be 3rd and 36. Well, I don't think it's 3rd and 36 because it's the 10-yard line it's going to be 3rd and 26. Here's that man in motion again. Quarterback getting some pressure, rolls to his right, looking downfield, has a man open in the end zone. And he is going to catch that. He's wide open. There's nobody around him. And he's going to strike first. The Thunderbolts barely getting his feet in bounds, it looks like, as Mica Mountain strikes first here tonight.
Yeah, I can already tell, Pat, Jaden Christ is dangerous as he gets outside of the pocket, just very comfortable. You can't tell if he's going to run or if he's going to throw. Looked like he was going to scramble, and then last second just pulls up and launches a deep ball into the end zone to find his receiver, number 17, Evan Wheeler, for a touchdown, for the first touchdown of this game in the second quarter. Mica Mountain up 7-0.
So with that, we'll take another break. You're listening to the Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week presented by Hatch Toyota.
It's here and it's huge. Black Friday all month long at Hatch Toyota. Buy a Tundra, get a Tundra. Buy a new Toyota Tundra and get a Yeti Tundra 45 cooler free. Plus get up to $6,000 off MSRP and 0.99% financing for 72 months. Tundra is power, rugged, advanced, unstoppable. All models, all colors, in stock and ready to roll. Buy a Tundra, score a Yeti Tundra 45 free. Hatch Toyota in the Northern Arizona Auto Mall or hatchtoyota.com.
Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint is giving you a chance to win premium tickets to the National Finals Rodeo in Las Vegas. Win 2 tickets, a stay at the MGM Grand, and $1,000 cash. Every customer gets an entry. Insured customers get 2 dinners at Los Corrales and 2 movie tickets. Call Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, and you could be headed to the National Finals Rodeo.
5365972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you. Woohoo!
Kickoff, kicked out of bounds. Lobos will get the ball on their own 20-yard line. Lobos, they've kind of had this issue all year as far as getting out of the gates quickly. They have definitely been a second-half football team. You would hope in the playoffs that they would be able to be a little bit better in the first half, but so far, one big play by Jacob Leduc, a 21-yard run, and that's about it for the Lobos so far. Jacob Leduc with a fake handoff, getting some pressure up the field. He's going to be hammered out there, and that's going to be a huge loss as he rolls to the right, gets some pressure, goes back to the left, and he's just not going to be able to do this against a championship team like the Thunderbolts. That's going to be a loss of 4, going to bring up 2nd and 14.
Yeah, Jacob Leduc just scrambling around, trying to find a receiver downfield that's open, and decides to tuck the ball and run, scrambles to his right, then cuts back to the left and just spends a little too much time deep in that backfield before number 4, Caden Watson's able to come up and tackle for a loss.
So Lobos, here's Jacob Leduc trying to get behind Green and getting what he can get. He got a gain of 1 yard is all. And going to bring up another 3rd and long for the Lobos.
Yeah, Mica Mountain so far doing a really good job of just kind of stacking the box and stopping Snowflake from this running game. I think getting the ground game going for Snowflake is going to be pivotal, Pat, in this football game. And they've got to get something going with their running game to open it up a little bit. But so far, Mica Mountain just doing a really good job of containing both Brenner and Jacob. And we'll see how Snowflake responds with this 3rd and long.
Yeah, approaching 7 minutes to go here in the first half. They are going to call a timeout. The official in the back was starting to wave his hand. I think that was the plan. Probably the whole time was to run that clock down and take a quick timeout. And so will we. We'll take another. No, you want to? Yeah, quick timeout. You're listening to the Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week presented by Hatch Toyota.
Your neighbors and friends won't have to fake their enthusiasm over your new wall. With the durability and strength of precast Verticrete walls from Hatch Concrete is a solid investment. Enhance your property's value with a 2-sided decorative concrete wall that's as stylish as it is affordable. No yearly repairs or restaining needed. Request a free estimate from Hatch Concrete today, where quality isn't just a name, but a tradition.
According to eyewitnesses, the guy went in and didn't come out. That was 2 days ago. His wife is worried. His boss has called. The latest report says he didn't know what hit him. A lazy boy recliner called his name, and that was that. This may be a hostage situation. For the best selection of lazy boy recliners, sofas, and sectionals, head to the Furniture Gallery, where they have furniture so comfortable, it's almost a crime.
All right, big play here for the Lobos. They're looking at 3rd and 13 from their own 18-yard line. Trying to get something going here for the Lobos. Leduc back to pass. And he's going to throw it deep. He's got Christian Smith. And that's going to be intercepted. They're going to come down with it on the Thunderbolt 44-yard line. Might have been as good as a punt, but still, hate to see that. Christian Smith had a shot, but 2 defenders right there. Hard to get that. Hard to get a hold of that one.
Yeah, Jacob Leduc just dropping back, throwing this one up, going for a deep ball. Maybe hung it up in the air just a little bit too long. Gave time for both of those defenders to come in and collapse in on it. And big interception by number 23, Caden White of Mica Mountain. Just getting up just a little bit higher than Christian Smith and coming down with that ball.
Just under 7 minutes to go in the first half. Thunderbolts on the board, 7-0, and here another opportunity on their own 45-yard line. Chris is going to keep it himself, and there's going to be a holding call on this one too as he hits the sideline. But that's going to be brought back. They're celebrating down there, but there's a flag on the field, and it was an obvious call. The reason he was able to spring that on this end, I mean, it was pretty obvious. Good call by the refs, and that's going to bring this one back. Spot of the foul is about the 42-yard line, so this is going to bring it back to the 32-yard line.
What a huge relief for Snowflake. Another big play back-to-back. So far, Mica Mountain's coming away with the momentum here, and if it weren't for that hold, Jaden Crisp, just a design run for the quarterback there, and able to sneak away down the sidelines and get a huge touchdown, but luckily due to that holding call, gonna bring them all the way back and give Snowflake another opportunity to defend.
Ball placed on the 35-yard line of the Thunderbolts, going to be 1st and 20. Those 3 receivers left, 2 to the right. Here's a pass over the middle, caught by number 4. That's going to bring him back to the original, a little bit further than the original line of scrimmage. That's going to be a gain of 12 on the play.
Yeah, number 4, Caden Watson, had a huge game last week against Lake Havasu, was Jaden's favorite receiver. And this, so far tonight, that's his first reception for a big first down. For a big play.
Yeah, 2nd and 8 with that penalty would have been a first down as he gained 12 yards. But 2nd and 8 on the Thunderbolt 47-yard line. Lobos are going to need to do a little better job putting a little pressure on this quarterback as he gets back to pass. Man in motion. And Chris, he's going to keep this one himself and breaks a couple of tackles. And he's going to get a first down and much more as he breaks another one. And he takes that ball all the way down to the Lobo 20-yard line. And Paul, you're exactly right. I think he lost a shoe and everything, and he still was able to gain all kinds of yards on that play.
I'm not sure if this is just poor tackling on Snowflake's end or Jaden Chris just being a fantastic runner. But several broken tackles there and a huge pickup for Mica Mountain. And they're going to take a time. Snowflake's going to take a timeout here and see if they can figure out what's going on this defensive end of the ball.
Yeah, a couple of big plays for Mica Mountain. Going to give them a good field position here, almost in the red zone. We'll take a quick break. You're listening to the Sports Zone. No break. Okay. We'll keep it right here. So I'm trying to figure out how many yards that was on that run, but it had to have been the ball was placed on a 35. They got a 12-yard, so that was about a 29-yard run on that, Paul.
Yeah, Snowflake I thought was going to come up with a tackle for only a gain of a few yards, and Jaden Crisp just doing some spinning and dancing and able to work his way through the Snowflake defense and broke several tackles and comes up with another huge play.
So I have 100 yards in the air for Chris. And then I have, before that play, they only had 24 yards rushing. And after that play, they now have 53. So 53 on the ground, 100 in the air for the Thunderbolts. Here's a handoff to number 3. He kind of hits the edge. And he's going to pick up a nice gain. That's going to be more than 10 yards. Gets pushed out of bounds right at the 5-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal for the Thunderbolts. Lobos getting themselves in a little bit of trouble here.
Yeah, number 3, Jeremiah Anderson from Mica Mountain, just getting up the middle and bouncing it out to the outside, almost breaking away for a touchdown. But Snowflake able to push him out of bounds at about the 5-yard line, and they're dug into their heels here. Pat, we'll see if they can hold Mica with this 1st and goal.
1st and goal. Here's a handoff. He's trying to hit that edge. He's not going to be able to do it. That's a huge play for the Lobos as he's going to be hit for a loss. And nice job there by a few Lobos. Number 4, of course, Hayden Nichols. Number 64 I see in there for the Lobos.
Number 26, Jackson Merrill, I think was the first one to the ball. Playing on that outside and just does a good job of getting past the line of scrimmage and hitting the backfield in the back.
So that's a huge loss for them. That's a loss of 6 yards on that play. Going to bring up 2nd and goal from the Thunderbird 11-yard line. Good job by the Lobos there on that last play. They'll see if they can keep this going a little bit. There is going to be a flag on the play. Are they going to call a delay of game on the Thunderbolts? Wow. That seemed like it was pretty quick, but benefits the Lobos. It's a 5-yard penalty. We're going to bring it back to the 16-yard line.
Yeah, I think some of Mica Mountain players are holding up their hands like time already. But yeah, so far this is smart timeout by Snowflake and a good job their defensive coordinator, Jeremy Smith, pumping them up to try to dig in their heels here and hold them from scoring another touchdown before halftime.
So we'll keep it here through this timeout. We got 4:38 left to go in this first half. Thunderbolts threatening here. Second and 16, which is actually 2nd and goal. So they're on the 16-yard line. So Lobos will get the ball on the start of the second half. So if the Lobos can get a stop here somehow, some way, keep them out of the end zone at least, maybe settle for a field goal, have plenty of time for the Lobos to do something here before half, which would be huge to be able to come out of half with some momentum going. So Lobos doing a good job here. They have to get their defense off the field. This is what happened a little bit against Arcadia just a few weeks ago. Their defense was on the field for 70% of that game.
Yeah.
And you just can't have that with a defense. They're going to get tired. They're going to get beat up, and something's going to happen. So this Lobo offense have got to figure something out. But here we go. 2nd and goal. Fake handoff. Going to go to the corner, and there's Gian Jones in the corner of the end zone, picking that one off. Nice job by Gian Jones there, reading that one and picking that one off. Huge play for the Lobos.
Oh, such a good read by Gian Jones. Veteran corner, able to get his head around and see that ball perfectly for a huge interception for Snowflake. This right here, Pat, could be a huge shift in this game with only 4 minutes left before halftime. Snowflake's got to get something going here on the offensive side of the ball.
They have to. They got to get something going here. They've got to figure something out, get some fire, get some momentum. As the Lobos come out with that 3 receivers right to the left, 1 to the left, LeDuc in shotgun. Hand off to Green right up the middle, and he is just not going anywhere. That's going to be a loss of 2 on the play.
Yeah, Snowflake just struggling to get their running game going here. You can tell Mica Mountain's done their research on Brenner Green because they're doing a good job of containing him. And so far, I've seen number 9, Broden Schmidt, who was a big presence last week in the win against Lake Havasu. They've blitzed him multiple times tonight, and again, blitzing him up the middle and just able to meet Brenner Green in the backfield for a short loss.
Here's another handoff to Green. Got a little bit of room this time. This is the best run of the night for Green for sure. That's going to be a gain of 7 yards for Green. I had him at -1 yard so far tonight, and so that's going to get him. That's going to get him up to +6. So far tonight, this Lobo offense has 22 yards of offense tonight. So Leduc had the 21-yard run, but he has had a couple of runs for negative loss, has 16 yards rushing, and Brenner Green right now has 6. Here's another fake handoff. Leduc's going to hit that corner. You know he's got speed if he can hit it. Does a great job, gets out of bounds. That's a huge play for Leduc. That's going to be a huge gain and almost gets him to the 50-yard line. So nice job there.
Pat, if you've noticed on the last 2 plays, I think this is going to be a key for Snowflake offense is using that speed. First off, by Brenner Green, I love to see him stretch his legs a little bit. He's big, but he's also quick. If you get him going, that's the hardest I've seen him, or the fastest, quickest I've seen him run tonight. And then Jacob Leduc, just a track star and phenomenal athlete, able to get around on the outside and pick up a huge first down for Snowflake.
So a little option play. Leduc gets lit up there, able to get the pitch off, and Brenner Green able to get a pretty good gain from what looked like it was going to be a disaster. Gain of 4 on the play for Green brings him up to 10 yards tonight.
Yeah, I think Jacob just held on to the ball just a little bit too long there. I would have liked to have seen him pitch that just a little bit quicker and given Brenner some time to get upfield and not take such a big hit, but positive yardage for Snowflake.
2nd and 7. Leduc rolls to his left, getting some pressure, tries the sideline just over the head of Smith. I'm going to bring up another 3rd down for the Lobos. It's going to be 3rd and 7. 2.5 minutes to go in this one. Thunderbolts up 7-0.
Yeah, just a challenging throw for Jacob Leduc. Pat, you were a quarterback. You know how hard it is to do that when you're running full speed out to your left, throwing against your body. Just over the hands of Christian Smith. Just a tough set of circumstances to throw the ball for Jacob Leduc.
Yeah, and that's usually the case when you're getting some pressure and that momentum going that way. You're going to throw it high. Not very often do you throw it low, so makes sense. Here's a handoff to Brenner. He's going to try to cut it back up the field. He's going to get a few yards, but he's going to be just short. He's going to be about 3 yards short of the first down. He's going to bring it right to the 50-yard line.
I think Brenner got some Wheaties here just over the last little bit because he's you can tell he's running with a little bit more fire in his belly. I like to see him with a little bit more speed, not dancing so much, and so far this possession he's doing a good job of just using his speed and his quickness to get up the field.
Yeah, we'll see what the Lobos are going to do here. They're going to let this clock go down a little bit maybe. There it looks like they may be.
The big down for Snowflake, big 4th down for Snowflake.
Yeah, I figured that they were going to call a timeout there, let this clock go down to 1:38, and we'll keep it right here through this timeout too. So
4th and 4 here, Pat. What do you do?
Well, I was just kind of looking outside here. The one thing I've noticed with the Thunderbolts, they're playing off a little bit on those wide receivers. This might be a chance for the Lobos, just a quick hit, a quick slant, a quick hitch route on the outside just to try to get to that marker. But you got to be really careful here. You got to make sure it's a guaranteed thing. I just think that they're going to be so focused on Green on a 4th and. This is a 4th and 4. I mean, this isn't a 4th and
it's
short. You know what I mean?
I would love to see Snowflake go for it here. Lining up Jacob like like he might punt the ball, but I think with only a minute and a half, I would love to see if they could get this first down.
So here we go. Leduc is in that punting position, and he is going to punt it away. There's nobody back to receive. It's a great punt. It's going to go all the way down to the Thunderbolts 6-yard line. But, probably that's just such a hard thing. If they were past the 50, maybe on the 40, that might be a place you'd want to go for it. But I agree with that call. You don't want to do anything to get stuck on the 50 with a minute 30 left. Give the Thunderbolts any chance to score before the end of the half, especially when the Lobos are going to come out in the second half getting the ball.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely the smart thing to do. Good call by Snowflake. I'm just thinking about playing Madden with my son. You always got to go for it on fourth down.
Yeah, it's definitely tempting, but I think in this game right now, the way this offense has played a little bit, they're going to have to be careful for sure. Yeah. So the Thunderbolts come out on their own 6-yard line, going to hand it off in the middle of the field. Going to be pushed forward for a few yards, but the Thunderbolts do have 2 timeouts left. Going to be a gain of, I'm going to say a gain of 4 on the play.
Yeah, I got an injured player. Looks like he might be cramping a little bit. Their running back, number 26, Colin Axford.
Yeah, that's going to happen here in this high altitude, especially as cold as it is. But it does just look like a cramp.
Yeah, smart play, like you said, Pat, by Snowflake, punting that ball away. I would have been tempted to go for it, but definitely the smart thing to do to pin Mica Mountain down here deep with only a minute and a half left and just run out this clock. They are going to get the ball. Snowflake is going to get the ball in the second half. And so if they can just run this clock out, go into the locker room at halftime, like you said, they're a second half team, and just dial some things in and see if they can get some offense going here and get on the board.
That's one thing that they have done, is they've been able to figure a few things out, even against Arcadia, coming out in that second half and scoring some points. So hopefully they can figure a few things out tonight offensively, because as far as right now, I have Leduc with 37 yards rushing, Green with 13 yards rushing, Leduc 2 of 4 for -2 yards passing. So got to get something going. Here is maybe a run, pass, option type of play for Chris. He's not going anywhere. He's going to get back to the line of scrimmage. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
Snowflake doing a much better job there. Irvin King outside of containing Jaden Christ. Jaden trying to stretch his legs and get out to the outside like he's done well all night long, but Snowflake just doing a better job of containing him and keeping him inside, and going to bring up a good 3rd down here for Mica Mountain.
So I am not sure, but I think, did Mica Mountain call a timeout? I know the Lobos were out of timeouts. So if there's a timeout on the field, it had to have been called by Mica Mountain, which I think is a mistake. Because this is usually the spot, on a 3rd and long type of situation where the opposing team would call a timeout so they have a chance to return a punt or do something here. Nope, they're starting the clock. 48 seconds, they're starting the clock here. So not sure what that delay was, but 3rd and 6, 40 seconds left to go in the first half.
Looks like they're setting up for a little bit of a trick play. They've got their quarterback out to the right side, but just going to run up the middle.
Not going to get a first down, but that clock will continue to run, and that'll be the end of the first half. So 10 seconds left. Mica Mountain scored first. Couple of big pass plays. We'll end this one, and we'll come back with the Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint halftime report. But a couple of big plays by Mica Mountain in that first half and get on the board. Snowflake struggling a little bit offensively, but we'll take a break through this halftime, and we will be back, as I said, with the Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint halftime report. You're listening to the Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week, presented by Hatch Toyota.
The Black Friday sales event is on at Hatch Toyota. Save big bucks on Tundra, up to $6,000 off plus 0.99% for 72 months. Or blast it to a new Tacoma, up to $3,000 off plus 1.99% for 60 months or 2.99% for 72 months. Over 175 trucks inbound and on the ground. All models, all colors, all ready to roll. Built tough, built bold, built for Arizona. Save big bucks on trucks during the Black Friday sales event. Only at Hatch Toyota in Sholo or hatchtoyota.com.
Folks, let me tell you, nobody does aggregates like Birkin's Aggregates. People, they come up to me and they say, how do they do it? It's simple. They've got the best people, the most professional drivers, and customer service that's absolutely tremendous. I mean, these guys deliver affordable, big, beautiful rock and concrete materials. Everyone's talking about it, so if you want quality, come get a load of this. Call Birkin's Aggregates. And if you know anything about me, it's that I'm a winner, and I know winners. And these guys, they're winners.
Beam & Well Drilling is a proud partner of Sports Zone Radio and the Friday Night Football Show, and they give support to each and every school and team in the White Mountains. Just like Sports Zone Radio, Beam & Drilling has the kind of experience that makes them the best at what they do. Paul Wyatt is the guy to talk to, and he'll take your call anytime, day or night, 537-1031. Or better yet, call him right on his cell phone, 928-205-7647. This football season, go deep with Beam & Drilling.
Step into the world where every bloom tells a story at the Bloom House Floral Design Shop. From enchanting decor to lifelike artificial florals that stay stunning year-round, we craft magic for your home, your holidays, and your biggest moments. Need a custom arrangement or a centerpiece that wows? We'll design it just for you. No fairy godmother required. The Bloom House, located in Pinetop and Sholo, is where imagination blossoms and every day becomes more beautiful.
Have you heard the big news? At White Mountain Regional Medical Center, we are bigger and better than ever. With our newly expanded emergency room facility and capabilities, we are even better equipped to handle your urgent needs with the care and efficiency you deserve. Discover the new standard in healthcare, right in your backyard. Choose White Mountain Regional Medical Center, located in Springerville, where specialized and emergency care are now within reach.
Welcome to the Mountain Mobile Halftime. A complete first-half breakdown of tonight's Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week broadcast. This is the Mountain Mobile Halftime.
All right, welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week presented by Hatch Toyota, and this is the Mountain Mobile Auto Glass Halftime Report. And we appreciate you tuning in tonight. We appreciate our sponsor, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass. We appreciate them sponsoring this halftime. Well, Paul, a little bit of a disappointing first half for the Lobos, I know for sure, especially offensively. A couple of big plays for the Thunderbolts is all in this first half. Other than that, the Lobos have done a great job defensively. I mean, we had a 46-yard pass play in the first quarter, I believe. And then to start into the second quarter, a big 36-yard pass play that ended up being their only score of the night. So other than that, the Lobos have done a pretty good job. I have the Thunderbolts right at 100 yards passing, 5 of 9 for 100 yards. And then I have, as far as their rushing, I have 66 yards in this first half. For the Lobos, I have Leduc. He's the leading rusher in this first half. He has 37 yards. Brenner Green with only 13 yards. Most of his first 3 runs were minus yardage plays, which I know is very disappointing for him. And he had a couple of decent runs there in that second quarter. He had a 6-yard run, a 10-yard run, and a 13. No, I have him at 13 yards total. So 50 yards for the Lobos on the ground. But the scary part is just the passing. They've only attempted 4 passes. Leduc did complete 2 of those passes, but both of those passes were for minus yards, -1 and -2 yards. So he's 2 of 4 for -2 yards in this game so far. So, Paul, give me some of your thoughts on what you think the Lobos are going to need to do in the second half to kind of dig out of this hole offensively and get something going.
Yeah, Pat, like as we kind of anticipated at the start of this game, this was going to be a defensive battle, and so far it's proven to be just that. All like you mentioned, all of Mica Mountain's positive yards, touchdown, everything came off of big plays. I don't think Snowflake's going to have to tweak a whole lot to shift things around here. Mica Mountain's keyed in on just a few players, as we've called out several times. Jaden Chris, their quarterback, does just a phenomenal job throwing the ball and scrambling. And the number 13, Riley Carson, who's been a go-to receiver for them on multiple occasions. I think if you shut down those key players on Mica Mountain's side, Snowflake could really turn things around here. And then just like you mentioned, got to get that running game going and got to get that passing game going. Got to find a good balance there and get something going offensively. And I think you're going to see a different Snowflake team coming out in this second half, and they're set to receive the ball and excited to see what they can do, see what tweaks head coach Trevor Reddick makes, and how they can get the ball going here in the second half.
Yeah, I totally agree, Paul. Great analysis of this first half. But that's one thing that makes up a good football team is they go in at half, they look at things and they tweak a few things and see what they can come up with in the second half. And as we've mentioned, the Lobos will be getting the ball to start the second half. And like I said, this is very similar to the game against Arcadia just a few weeks ago. The Lobos were down going in at halftime and came out in the second half and just kind of put it on Arcadia in that second half. And hoping that the Lobos can figure a few things out and come out in the second half and do the same. But you're right, Paul. They've really focused on Brenner, and he's really struggling tonight finding any type of room to run. And for such a great running back and doing such a great job, very difficult to contain that guy at 13 yards in the first half. So you got to give a little bit of credit to the Thunderbolts and their philosophy coming in that first half, especially in stopping Brenner on the run. So
yeah, that was my only hesitation with them punting that ball away right there before the half, is that was the first real show that Snowflake had of just getting some momentum going. Brenner started getting his feet moving. Jacob had some positive things going with his runs. And I liked that momentum that Snowflake was picking up, and I thought there might be a little bit of an attempt to go for it on fourth down, but like you mentioned, probably a smart thing to pin Mica Mountain deep and just run out the clock and go and make some adjustments there at halftime.
Yeah, you just never know. I mean, you go for that on fourth down and you make it. You're a great coach. It was a great play call. Great job by the boys. You miss that, and that just pumps up that opposing team, and it gives them momentum going in with a minute and a half to go 50 yards. And with the way the Thunderbolts, have kind of depended on the big play so far tonight, anything could have happened. So you just never know. So I think it was a good call, pinning them back, just getting out of that half, going in at halftime, regrouping, and get something going in the second half. I do have some updates on some 4A scoring tonight. I accidentally went to the 5A, and I don't know if this is right, Paul. I can't imagine that this is right, but they have ALA West Foothills up in the first quarter 44-0 over Mojave. And I don't think that can be correct. I can't see LA West Foothills scoring 44 points in the first quarter. So
that's a number 3 and a number 5 seed.
Yeah. So I don't know if that one's right. If it is, I apologize. But I do see Gila Ridge up on Coconino at halftime 13-0. And Arcadia, number 1 team in the state in 4A, putting the whipping on Marcos Deniza so far. That one's still showing in the second quarter 26-7. So those are your quarterfinal updates for the 4A. So I just got a text from my friend Joe Clare And he says 12-0 Mojave in the second. So somebody's messing with this on Max Preps, whoever is updating that score. So I believe Joe Clare on that one, that it's 12-0 Mojave. That sounds a little bit more like it to me. So we'll go with that. But appreciate that text. And if anybody has anything different than what I'm just looking on Max Preps, I'm not getting any updates from anybody, so I'm going strictly with what they have on here. So, but the number 1 Arcadia against Marcos doesn't surprise me. That Arcadia team is good, and they can put up some points pretty quickly. So 26-7 there. And Gila Ridge, kind of a surprising team for me anyway, coming in to this 4A state playoff. I just never had heard of them. I mean, they weren't really anybody that made any big noise during the regular season. And Coconino with the huge upset last week against Bradshaw Mountain, going down to Prescott Valley and upsetting Bradshaw Mountain down there. Just kind of surprising. Both of those teams kind of sneaking into this quarterfinal, in my opinion. So Gila Ridge up 13-0. So anyway, that'll be our Mountain Mobile Auto Glass halftime report. We'll take another break, and we will be back hopefully with the start of this second half. See if the Lobos can get something going. You're listening to the Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week presented by Hatch Toyota.
Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint is giving you a chance to win premium tickets to the National Finals Rodeo in Las Vegas. Win 2 tickets, a stay at the MGM Grand, and $1,000 cash. Every customer gets an entry. Insured customers get 2 dinners at Los Corrales and 2 movie tickets. Call Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, and you could be headed to the National Finals Rodeo.
536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass. Cash back to you. Woohoo!
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing your best of the White Mountains 2025 Best Propane Company, Owens Energy. In fact, it's their 5th consecutive win in a row. Owens has been proudly serving our community for more than 25 years, supporting local organizations, providing dependable service, and now an official partner of the Sports Zone's Friday Night Football Show. It's all about propane at Owens Energy, a local family-owned business with friendly, reliable service right here in Arizona's White Mountains. Owens Energy, your White Mountains propane provider.
According to eyewitnesses, the guy went in and didn't come out. That was 2 days ago. His wife is worried. His boss has called. The latest report says he didn't know what hit him. A Lazy Boy recliner called his name, and that was that. This may be a hostage situation. For the best selection of Lazy Boy recliners, sofas, and sectionals, head to the Furniture Gallery, where they have furniture so comfortable, it's almost a crime.
Step into the world where every bloom tells a story at the Bloom House Floral Design Shop. From enchanting decor to lifelike artificial florals that stay stunning year-round, we craft magic for your home, your holidays, and your biggest moments. Need a custom arrangement or a centerpiece that wows? We'll design it just for you. No fairy godmother required. The Bloom House, located in Pinetop and Sholo, is where imagination blossoms and every day becomes more beautiful.
The Black Friday sales event is on at Hatch Toyota. Save big bucks on Tundra, up to $6,000 off plus 0.99% for 72 months. Or blast it to a new Tacoma, up to $3,000 off plus 1.99% for 60 months or 2.99% for 72 months. Over 175 trucks inbound and on the ground. All models, all colors, all ready to roll. Built tough, built bold, built for Arizona. Save big bucks on trucks during the Black Friday sales event. Only at Hatch Toyota in Sholo or HatchToyota.com.
Folks, let me tell you, nobody does aggregates like Birkin's Aggregates. People, they come up to me and they say, how do they do it? It's simple. They've got the best people, the most professional drivers, and customer service that's absolutely tremendous. I mean, these guys deliver affordable, big, beautiful rock and concrete materials. Everyone's talking about it, so if you want quality, come get a load of this. Call Birkin's Aggregates. And if you know anything about me, it's that I'm a winner, and I know winners. And these guys, they're winners.
Beeman Well Drilling is a proud partner of Sports Zone Radio and the Friday Night Football Show, and they give support to each and every school and team in the White Mountains. Just like Sports Zone Radio, Beeman Drilling has the kind of experience that makes them the best at what they do. Paul Wyatt is the guy to talk to, and he'll take your call anytime, day or night. 537-1031. Or better yet, call him right on his cell phone, 928-205-7647. This football season, go deep with Beeman Drilling.
Have you heard the big news? At White Mountain Regional Medical Center, we are bigger and better than ever. With our newly expanded emergency room facility and capabilities, we are even better equipped to handle your urgent needs with the care and efficiency you deserve. Discover the new standard in healthcare right in your backyard. Choose White Mountain Regional Medical Center, located in Springerville, where specialized and emergency care are now within reach.
All right, welcome back. You just listened to the Mountain Mobile Auto Glass halftime report. You're listening to the Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week presented by Hatch Toyota. We appreciate all our sponsors tonight. Ace Hardware, Bloomhouse, Hallmark, Perkins Cinders, White Mountain Regional Medical Center, Hatch Concrete, Furniture Gallery, Beeman Drilling, Cell One, Owens Energy. We appreciate all our sponsors and all they do for high school football. As the Lobos getting ready for this second half, I agree with you, Paul. I think the Lobos need to come out pretty fired up in the second half. Hopefully they found a few things that might help them get some momentum, especially on this first drive. I think this first drive, and I've said this before on broadcast, but I think sometimes the first drive of the second half kind of sets the tone for how the rest of the second half is going to go. So I think it's very important for the Lobos to come out in this third quarter and prove something.
Yeah, definitely. Snowflake's not out of this game. I didn't necessarily, I knew it was going to be a defensive battle, but didn't think we'd be here 0-7 after halftime coming into the third quarter. But I agree. I think Snowflake, obviously it's one of those gut check moments, especially for your seniors. This is win or go home. And game's on the line here, and we'll see what adjustments Snowflake made at halftime and if they can get things going here in this third quarter, as they're going to be set to receive the ball first.
It seems like a little bit different attitude down there on the sidelines. I just saw the players come together. No coaches in that huddle that the players were in just now, and they seem to be pretty excited starting this second half. So, and I think that's what the Lobos are going to need. But like I said, 7-0, you're exactly right, Paul. The Lobos are not out of this game. There's a lot of football left to play. If the offense can figure a few things out, they do need to figure some things out, because they have got to get their defense off the field. They've got to let those guys rest a little bit, and so they're ready to play. This can't be a Mica Mountain second half where they control and have possession of the ball for most of the second half. So. But we did get our score updated, and Max Preps fixed it. It is 12-7 now. Late in the second quarter, Mojave on top, 12-7 over ALA West Foothills. Still showing Gila Ridge. That is a halftime score. So 13-0, 26-7 Arcadia over Marcos, and then this one here tonight, the Thunderbolts, defending state champs, coming up to the cold mountains to play against Snowflake, and they're dressed for it out there. They've got long sleeves on, and they knew that they were coming up into some cold weather. I know the Lobos have been practicing every night under the lights. It's been pretty much the same weather all week long, so they've been practicing from like 7 to 8:30 or 6 to 8:30 every night out in this, so they've got to be pretty much adjusted to it. They just have got to find something offensively to get their momentum here.
Yeah, so far I don't think this cold, kind of surprised me, I don't think this cold has affected Mica Mountain too much. They've responded pretty well for a team coming out of Tucson. Definitely not used to this type of weather. But as you said, I have seen the lights on every night this week, and Snowflake doing everything they can to simulate game experience and be ready for this quarterfinal showdown.
The kick results in a touchback. Got a good kicking game. I wasn't sure about that, and it looks like Mike has got a good kicker out there, so he's kicked it in the end zone and each opportunity that he's had. So the Snowflake Lobos will come out in the third quarter to start this one on their own 20-yard line. We'll see what the Lobos have come up with here in the second half.
Yeah, this is going to be a good indicator right here, Pat, as you said, of how this second half is going to go.
Pitch out to Green. Gain of 3 yards. They went back to the option play. And nice little gain. You know, it's always a good gain. You want 3 to 4 yards on every play, obviously, to get you to that first down. And that was a nice play by the Snowflake Lobos coming out. Positive yards. That's what you're needing right now, is just something positive, getting some momentum, and getting downhill. 2nd down and 7. Here comes the blitz. And there is number 9. He just had his eyes right on number 33, Brenner Green. And that is going to take away those 3 yards that Green just got, and going to bring up 3rd and 10.
As I mentioned before, number 9, Broden Schmidt, just blitzing right up the middle. They've been doing that quite a bit tonight, and he's the first one to meet Brenner Green in the backfield and takes away all the positive yardage that they got with that first play.
Yep, 3rd down and 10. LeDuc in shotgun, back to pass, has some room, a little delayed draw. LeDuc has the first down, runs over a player at about the 35-yard line. Going to be a gain of 15 for LeDuc on the play.
Man, Pat, I love to see this kid get out in the open field. He does such a good job of giving head fakes and jukes and using his speed to get downfield, and that's a huge pickup for Snowflake right there. Let's see if they can keep this momentum going with the first down.
1st and 10 on the Lobo 35-yard line. You've got Christian Smith out here wide in the trips on the right side. LeDuc going back to that option, pitches to Green. He tries to cut it back upfield. He's going to get a couple on the play, but they're reading that play pretty well right now. Going to bring up 2nd and 8.
Yeah, Mica Mountain doing a good job of not giving much chance for Jacob to run the ball, coming up and hitting him, forcing Jacob to pitch the ball to Brenner Green. And Brenner using his feet, doing a good job of using those muscles and that strength to pick up a few yards for the Lobos.
We're going to say that was a gain of 3, so it's going to bring up 2nd and 7. That little delayed play is going to hand it off to Green. And there's number 9. He's going to get it back to the line of scrimmage, but that's all he's going to find. And they've got to figure out how to get a body on number 9, because he's just dialed in on Brenner right now. And Brenner struggling a little bit. Going to bring up another 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, Mica Mountain's number 9, Broden Schmidt, just all over the place defensively. Like you said, Snowflake's got to find a way to key in on him, because he is literally the heart and soul of this Mica Mountain defense.
LeDuc back to pass again. A lot of pressure. Going to set up a screen to Green. Has some room. Going to cut it back upfield across the 50. Hits the sideline. Breaks the tackle. Gets pushed out of bounds in Thunderbolt territory. Nice play call there. Nice job. And guess who's down on the field there? Looks like he's a little bit shaken up. And that is number 9. He is a tough big man. But he is up and going to keep playing. But he was down on the ground for a little bit. But what a big play for the Lobos.
Great play call by Trevor Reddick, and offense just doing a great job of setting up that screen, letting all the defensive linemen come through, giving a perfect opportunity for Brenner Green to get out in the open field and coming up with another huge first down for Snowflake.
So that's one thing that LeDuc just takes that. That was a running play to LeDuc the whole way. And that's one thing that he just can't do. He can't go backwards. He's got to get up the field there. He was trying to avoid, I don't know what he was trying to avoid, but he went backwards. That's going to be a loss and a huge loss because it's just a momentum killer to do that. And it's now 2nd and 14 for the Lobos.
Yeah, Jacob Leduc probably just trying to rely a little bit too much on his speed to get outside, and just not much there. Mica Mountain doing a good job of spreading the field. And like you said, Pat, Snowflake's got to find their way forward. They've got to keep their momentum going forward and continue to produce good plays. They do a good job of getting first downs and getting some momentum, and then they just shoot themselves in the foot by going backwards with negative yardage.
Yeah, a little handoff to Green right at the middle. And he does the best he can, gets a yard. But now even a bigger third down for the Lobos is going to be 3rd and 14 with 8 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Big play here for the Lobos. And I am not sure what they're going to call on that. They're going to call an incomplete pass, but it's going to be probably intentional grounding.
I thought he got outside of the pocket there, but kind of uncertain what that play was. It didn't look like the line moved when they snapped the ball. I don't know if they were trying to set up a little bit of a trick play or just catch Mica Mountain off guard, but Mica Mountain's corners did a good job of coming up, and they are going to call Jacob for intentional grounding here.
Yeah, that's going to be a loss of downs. I'm going to look at this now that the replay. He tries to throw that. There is Christian Smith right there, and I think that's what Coach Reddick was yelling about was, Christian was right there at the play. But
what's classified as getting out of the pocket, I thought he was pretty far extended out to the right-hand side, almost between the hash and the numbers.
Well, fortunately there for the Lobos, Leduc, a line drive kick there. Luckily that didn't get blocked, but going to take a Lobo roll all the way down to the 30-yard line of the Thunderbolts. So what looked a little bit promising there to start, Paul, a couple of nice plays, a draw, a nice screen play for the Lobos, getting them down past into Thunderbolt territory, kind of dies with a couple of big defensive plays for the Thunderbolts.
Yeah, Snowflake, probably their best offensive possession, doing a good job of getting first downs and moving the ball, but like you said, they cannot go backwards. It seems like as soon as they have a negative play or a loss, it just totally kills their momentum and changes the way they move forward.
So here we go, kind of depending on the defense again, and that is going to be a huge play on first down by Ziggy Olberg. A loss of 1 on the play for Mica Mountain.
Yeah, Mica Mountain coming out the first possession of this second half, trying to get their running game going again to number 26, and Ziggy Olberg, big freshman, coming up and making a big stop there.
2nd and 11, flag on the play. Not sure what this was going to be.
It's going to be against Mica Mountain.
Yeah, I don't know what that. I don't know what that was, but fortunately for the Lobos, another 5-yard penalty going to bring it back another 5 yards. So with the addition of the loss of 1 on the play, quarterback back to pass, and there he finds his main receiver right in the middle of the field. Huge pass play again. That was on the 29-yard line, Paul, so that's a huge play for Mica Mountain. A lot of yards on that pass play.
Yeah, just like the first half, Pat, this is what Mica Mountain did well. They're just relying on these big plays. And Snowflake's got to do something to contain these big plays or these big breakouts. Number 13, who's been a prime candidate for their offense, just their go-to guy, splits the defenders and able to come up with a huge catch for a big first down for Mica Mountain.
That's a 30-yard gain for the Thunderbolts. Here's a big run right up the middle, kind of on a little counter play. Number 84, who I don't think we've seen tonight, 84, Sincere King, senior for the Thunderbolts. Going to be a big gain for the Thunderbolts all the way down to the Lobo 25-yard line.
Yeah, just a new number, 84. Not huge in size and kind of just setting up a little counter and able to sneak through the line and just quick on his feet before he's tackled by number 26, Jackson Merrill, Snowflake.
1st and 10 on the Lobo 25-yard line. Man in motion for Mica. Hands it up the middle. Big hole for number 26. Kicks it outside, breaks a tackle, and going to take it out of bounds at about the 7-8 yard line. There are 2 flags on the play. I think that one of them's probably going to be on the Thunderbolts and maybe one on the Lobos, so we'll see if these are offsetting. But it's clear across the field from where I'm at, so I didn't get to see everything. But
yeah, definitely a holding call on Mica Mountain. I'm not sure what the other penalty is going to be, but Gian Jones almost tackled out there at the corner position as the back, number 26 from Mica Mountain, bounced it outside, and Gian Jones tackled. And here's the white hat for the call.
Personal foul, face mask on the Lobos.
Yeah, it's a face mask on the defense. Unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense.
So those are going to be offsetting, I believe. So it's just going to be, no, let's see, is it? It's, it ended up. So I am not sure where that is at, but they've placed the ball on the Lobo 19-yard lines. Mica Mountain has a 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 from the Lobo 19. Here is another flag on the play.
Looks like it's going to be against Mica Mountain. We got the officials discussing it.
Okay. So I think that is an illegal formation call. Legal formation, legal substitution. Anyway, 5-yard penalty, 1st and 15, now on the Lobo 24-yard line. Fake pass, guy right at the middle, caught again. That's number 13. I think they could run that play all night, Paul. He's just wide open in the middle of the field. He's just going on a go route, and he's hitting him in a seam. And he has caught 3 or 4 passes right there. That's a 24-yard touchdown pass for the Thunderbolts.
Yeah, Pat, they ran that play. They ran that exact same play earlier in this possession, which was the other big play by number 13, and just went to him again. And it looks like there's just a little bit of miscommunication on the Snowflake defense between the linebacker in the corner or the outside backer, because that receiver's just splitting that seam, and he hit him right up the side for a big Mica Mountain touchdown to put this team up by 2 scores over the Lobos.
Yeah, this is Lobos getting in a little bit dangerous territory here with as well as the Mica Mountain Thunderbolts have been playing defense. The Lobos, a couple of big plays. Leduc had his biggest pass play of the game so far on the 20-yard screen play. But still, Brenner Green tonight with only 17 yards rushing is what I've got right now. Leduc has 11 so far in the second half, which gives him 48 yards for the night. So just not a whole lot of offense. I mean, they're not even at 100 yards yet tonight on total offense.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that Snowflakes haven't seen a lot of fire from this Snowflake team tonight. You would think in a quarterfinal round with the game on the line or your season on the line that they would have come out with a little bit more fire. And oh no, Pat. Kickoff return by Christian Smith, and it looks like it's going to be a fumble recovered by Mica Mountain.
Yeah, definitely Christian just trying to do a little bit too much and fumbled that one. And just unfortunately, he did the same thing against Arcadia, a big opportunity to run a touchdown back for a score, and fumbled, and now here again tonight. So it might be a little bit in his head as far as those fumbles go on these kick returns. So the Thunderbolts will take control of this one on the Lobo 32-yard line. So great opportunity for the Thunderbolts. That's going to be a timeout. Thunderbolts are going to take a timeout, and so will we. You're listening to the Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week presented by Hatch Toyota.
You don't have to drive hours for top-notch healthcare. We've got it right here at White Mountain Regional Medical Center's Rural Health Clinic in Springerville. Heart skipping a beat? Our cardiologists have you covered. Achy feet? Our podiatry team's a step ahead. From pulmonology to orthopedics and mental and behavioral health, we treat you, not just the chart. White Mountain Regional Medical Center, empowering a healthier community.
Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint is giving you a chance to win premium tickets to the National Finals Rodeo in Las Vegas. Win 2 tickets, a stay at the MGM Grand, and $1,000 cash. Every customer gets an entry. Insured customers get 2 dinners at Los Corrales and 2 movie tickets. Call Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, and you could be headed to the National Finals Rodeo.
536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass. Cash back to you. Woohoo!
Well, Lobos in a little bit of a jam here with giving the Thunderbolts a great opportunity here with 5:24 left to go in the third quarter, giving them the ball at the 32-yard line. High snap, fake handoff, pitch. They tried to run an option too. Great job by the Lobos here. This defense showing a lot of grit here tonight. Paul, they've been on the field a lot, and to come up with a big play like that, that's a loss of about 7 yards on the play.
Yeah, this is exactly what Snowflake needs. They need to get this momentum going here on the defensive side of the ball so that it carries over to the offense. But just a huge job of Mason Raven and Irvin King coming up from the outside and shutting that option play down by Mica Mountain.
2nd and 16. Back to pass. Hitting that edge, looking across, decides to take it himself, runs out of bounds, gets about back to the original line of scrimmage, so we're going to say a gain of 6 on the play.
Yeah, Jaden Chris just scrambling again out to the outside, and Snowflake doing a pretty good job of containing him, able to pick up a few yards there, but going to bring up a big 3rd and 10. 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11 for the Thunderbolts.
Approaching 4 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in this third quarter. Ball on the 32-yard line. 3rd and 10. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Back to pass, looking towards the middle of the field. He's got somebody wide open again, and fortunately for the Lobos, that was dropped. That was number 17 for the Thunderbolts, and he was wide open.
Yeah, should have been another touchdown for Mica Mountain. Looked like there was just some miscommunication going on between the DBs because number 17 of Mica Mountain, Evan Wheeler, wide open in the end zone and drops it through his hands. Fortunately for the Snowflake defense, it's going to bring up 4th and 10.
And the Thunderbolts bring out their kicker. He has shown that he has a pretty good leg. We'll see what he's got in this cold. This is a long attempt here. Ball is up, and it is no good. It's just he had the distance, but it went to the right. And so Lobos get out of a predicament there. Paul with the turnover on their own 32-yard line, and the Thunderbolts come up empty with anything with that. So the Lobos, fortunately, will get the ball back on the 20-yard line, needing desperately to get something going here offensively.
Yeah, let's see if the Snowflake offense can respond to that huge stop by the Snowflake defense. That was about a 42-yard field goal.
Yeah,
and it had the distance
just
a little bit to the right. Let's see if Snowflake can get something here going on their offensive side of the ball.
And that isn't going to help. Lobos jump off sides. It's going to put them back 5 yards. It's going to be 15, put it back to the 15-yard line, going to be first down and 15.
Yeah, Snowflake just shooting themselves in the foot just a little bit too much. They've got to be a little bit more mentally disciplined.
Fake handoff to Green. Gets the edge. That's going to be a holding call. LeDuc's going to take that one for a touchdown, but it's going to be a holding on Rabin.
Yeah,
coming back.
Unfortunately, I think Mason just stuck with him a little bit too long. It looked pretty clean, but as soon as Jacob got around the outside, Mason needed to let go, and he just held on just a little bit too long, and it's going to bring this touchdown all the way back.
And there was no need for it either. He had the position. All he had to do is stay in his way. He didn't have to grab him at all. He had the position. When we see this replay, you'll see that there was really no need for it at all. You see Rabin right there, and he just kind of grabs, and there was no way that guy was going to get to LeDuc on that play. And unfortunately for the Lobos, that's going to be a 70 and 85-yard touchdown run for LeDuc called back. That would have been a huge play for the Lobos here in this third quarter.
Yeah, the Lobos needed that one for sure. That would have been a huge shift in momentum. And again, just dumb mistakes, stupid penalties, really putting Snowflake in a tough spot.
First down and 20 from the Lobo 8-yard line maybe. Here's a handoff up the middle to Green. He's going to get 2 yards on the play. Going to give him 6 yards so far in this second half. Going to bring up second down and 18.
Yeah, Mica Mountain just doing a good job of containing Brenner. So far, most of this positive yardage has come from the legs of Jacob LeDuc. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit more of him stretching it out on those outside corners again.
Fake handoff. And there's where that defensive end comes in. Number 44 for Mica Mountain. That's Jack Andrews. Gets his hands up, knocks that ball down. Going to bring up 3rd and 17.
Yeah, Jacob intended receiver Nash read it there, and looked like it could have gone for some yards, but like you said, just a big body on the outside, and Jacob not able to get it over the head of that big defensive end.
3rd and 17. Way back in Lobo territory, LeDuc back to pass. He's going to try another little quarterback draw. I don't think that I don't know if that was a design draw, but that's going to bring up 4th down. Maybe a gain of 1 on the play. There's all. And going to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, I couldn't tell. It almost looked like for a second like he was really intended to pass, but then just quickly took the ball and ran up the middle, and Mica Mountain did a good job of just sealing it off, closing in tight, and keeping Jacob LeDuc contained. Let's see what we got going on here. A big 4th down for Snowflake. Not lining up like they're going to punt, but we've got a flag down. Let's see what the officials say.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they call this. Legal substitution. It's just a 5-yard penalty. With as deep as the Lobos are in trouble there on their penalties, with being 4th and 18, that's going to be 4th and 13. And now we're going to get a timeout by Mica. So we'll take a quick timeout too. You're listening to the Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week presented by Hatch Toyota.
Folks, let me tell you, nobody does aggregates like Birkin's Aggregates. People, they come up to me and they say, how do they do it? It's simple. They've got the best people, the most professional drivers, and customer service that's absolutely tremendous. I mean, these guys deliver affordable, big, beautiful rock and concrete materials. Everyone's talking about it, so if you want quality, come get a load of this. Call Birkin's Aggregates. And if you know anything about me, it's that I'm a winner, and I know winners. And these guys, they're winners.
Step into the world where where every bloom tells a story at the Bloom House Floral Design Shop. From enchanting decor to lifelike artificial florals that stay stunning year-round, we craft magic for your home, your holidays, and your biggest moments. Need a custom arrangement or a centerpiece that wows? We'll design it just for you. No fairy godmother required. The Bloom House, located in Pinetop and Show Low, is where imagination blossoms and every day becomes more beautiful.
All right, Lobos back to kick, and this one is shanked. Going to give the Thunderbolts great field position again. They are going to get possession again at the Lobo 30-yard line. So another great opportunity for the Thunderbolts. Lobos just aren't able to get anything happening tonight here offensively. We're still looking at 68 yards rushing for the Lobos so far tonight, and we are looking at 18 passing yards. Here's a handoff right up the middle. Big hole. Brings it across the 20-yard line. That's going to be number 26. Going to be all the way down to the 19-yard line. That's going to be a 10-yard gain.
Yeah, I hate to see this. You can almost feel it from up here, Pat. We're above the grandstands here, but you can almost just feel and see on the field some of these Lobo players starting to hang their head, and you just can't have that. There's still plenty of time left in this game. It's only a 2-score game, and just a lot of mental mistakes and momentum shift that the Lobos need to reverse here.
1st and 10 for the Thunderbolts. Hands it off up the middle. Big hole. He's going to hit the corner of the end zone. Dive in. That's going to be a Thunderbolt touchdown. That's going to be a 19-yard touchdown run for the Thunderbolts.
Just a huge hole on that right side for Jeremiah Anderson. You could have driven a truck through that thing, and he was able to scamper all the way down and score another touchdown for Mica Mountain.
So that puts Mica Mountain with over 100 yards on the ground. The Lobos have done a great job defensively. They've just been on the field too much. And that's 105 yards rushing for the Thunderbolts. They're still at 154 yards passing as they go up 21-0 over the Lobos with 2 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, just not much Snowflake's able to do here. They've got to get the ball going offensively to give their defense a break. We got 2 minutes left here in the third quarter, and Mica Mountain about to kick off to Snowflake. We'll see if they can get some positive mojo going here on the Snowflake Lobo field.
Yeah, they need it for sure. Tough night so far offensively for the Lobos. That kid has a leg on him. He kicked that clear out in the back of the end zone.
Yeah, what a boot. What a boot by Mica Mountain.
So the Lobos will start again. I don't think that they have even had possession across the 50-yard line tonight. I mean, they've been right close to the 50. They might have been over just a little bit, but I don't know if they've been past the 50 tonight on a possession.
Yeah. The one play that they did, obviously the long run by Jacob Leduc that was brought back by just costly mistakes.
Well, I'm not exactly sure how to call that play. But Leduc back to pass. Great coverage, looks like, from the Thunderbolts. Had a little bit of room, tucked it and started to run. Had a little bit of momentum, maybe even a gain of a couple yards, and then spins out of it and goes backwards and then tries to throw the ball. And that is going to be another intentional grounding for Leduc. So that's going to be a 5-yard penalty, a loss of down. So that is going to be second down now and forever. 25.
Yeah,
second down and 25.
Frustration just starting to settle in here with the Lobos. Jacob just trying to do too much. He just needs to calm down and settle back into his game and have his teammates around him pick him up and trust in the game that he's played. And
that ball just kind of thrown up. Double coverage on the right-hand side to Gian. So I'm not exactly sure what Leduc is seeing on that. But unfortunately, well, fortunately for the Lobos, that ball was not intercepted. But that ball just thrown up, hoping that Gian could go up and get it. There was a little bit of holding there that you hear the fans trying to get a holding call right there, and that probably was a pretty legit complaint.
Yeah, Snowflake fans pretty upset about that one, as you could probably hear them in the background trying to call those refs out. It was a pretty good little hold, but Snowflake going to be pinned deep in their territory for a big third down.
Still third down and 25. And they try a little draw play to Green, and the Thunderbolts just sniffing everything out there. They're not giving Green anything, and that's going to be I think that's going to be a loss on the play. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. But the Thunderbolts again going to get great field position here as the Lobos punt from their own end zone.
Oh, more Jacob Leduc lined up back in the end zone to kick this one away, and just some more costly mistakes by Snowflake. Pat, being an offensive coordinator, what do you do when you feel your team momentum shift like it has here with Snowflake and just so much negativity going on? What do you do to bring them out of it?
It's tough. I'm just telling you, it's tough when you have a defense that's playing this well and has a great game plan. Obviously, coming into this game, eyes are on Green, so what do? I mean, there's not a play that you can run to Green that they're not stopping. Leduc's done the best he can. He's just making some bad decisions. And so there's not really anything you can do other than, just try to find something. You've got to find something. You don't have to get a big play. You know what I mean? You've got to find something to get downhill and to get 3 or 4 yards of play. And so far tonight, Lobos just have not been able to find anything like that.
Yeah, I don't blame Jacob Leduc, senior, season on the line, and just trying to do maybe just a little too much and trying to put the team on his shoulders offensively, and it's just putting him a little bit back. Great punt by Jacob Leduc there with the fourth down, and able to pin Mica Mountain a little bit back on the other side of the field, and we'll see if this Snowflake defense can stand up again and hang in here late in this third quarter.
44 seconds left to go. Mica Mountain with the football on their own 47-yard line. Man in motion. Quarterback hands off right up the middle. Big hole. And I'm afraid that's just going to be how it's going to be here to finish up this game. Is this, like I said, this defense has just been on the field too long, and they are beat. Gain of 9 on the play.
Yeah, Snowflake in the first half doing a good job of containing the running game of Mica Mountain, but like you said, I think the defensive time on the field is definitely starting to weigh on them, and these holes are getting a lot bigger for the Mica Mountain backs, and almost every time they touch the ball, they're either picking up a first down or getting an 7, 8, 9-yard gain on the play.
That's going to do it for the third quarter. We'll take a break. You're listening to the Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week presented by Hatch Toyota.
It's here and it's huge. Black Friday all month long at Hatch Toyota. Buy a Tundra, get a Tundra. Buy a new Toyota Tundra and get a Yeti Tundra 45 cooler free. Plus get up to $6,000 off MSRP and 0.99% financing for 72 months. Tundra is power, rugged, advanced, unstoppable. All models, all colors, in stock and ready to roll. Buy a Tundra, score a Yeti Tundra 45 free. Hatch Toyota in the Northern Arizona Auto Mall or hatchtoyota.com.
Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint is giving you a chance to win premium tickets to the National Finals Rodeo in Las Vegas. Win 2 tickets, a stay at the MGM Grand, and $1,000 cash. Every customer gets an entry. Insured customers get 2 dinners at Los Corrales and 2 movie tickets. Call Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, and you could be headed to the National Finals Rodeo.
5365972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you. Woohoo!
All right, welcome back. Start of the fourth quarter. Little fumble on the play. First mistake. Well, I guess he did throw an interception in the first half, but first fumble, first ball on the ground. So a nice job by the Lobos. Nice job by Chris just jumping on that one. Loss of 5 or 6 on the play. Going to bring up a third down.
Yeah, just a bobble or a little bit of a miscommunication between quarterback Jaden Christ and his running back Irvin King, doing a good job of jumping all over that and containing him. Jaden trying to pick it up after it was fumbled and maybe get a little bit of positive yardage, but Irvin King there to meet him and pin Mica Mountain back for a loss.
3rd and 6 on the Thunderbolt or the Lobo 49-yard line. Going to be a quick handoff. Got some room. It's going to be a first down. And the Thunderbolts have found a hole a little bit in this Lobo defense and able to pop that one for a good gain and a Thunderbolt first down.
Yeah, Mica Mountain here as we're in the fourth quarter up by 3 scores. I think it's going to start eating away at this clock, running the ball, and Snowflake's got to dig their heels in deep and see what they can do to try to contain this running back, number 26, Colin Axford, who's little by little just chipping away at this Lobo defense.
Man in motion for the Thunderbolts. Going to be a little counter play again. Ball on the ground, kicked, picked up by the Lobos. I believe that they are going to recover that. A few people, oh boy. We have some extracurricular activity going on. We had a lot of acting going on. But I did see a Lobo football player kind of push a Mica Mountain player. But there was a lot of acting going on that play from what I saw. So
yeah.
we'll see what they call. But I believe this is going to be unsportsmanlike conduct for the Lobos. Going to turn a really positive play, a fumble recovery, into a 15-yard penalty. Going to bring them back all the way probably to the 15-yard line.
Yeah, personal foul against Snowflake. And this has kind of been the story all night long, Pat. Just a positive play by Snowflake, able to get a fumble recovery, and then just costly, stupid mistakes that pin them back and really kill their momentum.
Yeah. So 10.5 minutes to go in this one. Ball placed on the 11-yard line. Nope, that's not right. It's the 16-yard line of the Lobos. LeDuc back to pass. Going to find Christian Smith in the middle of the field. Did he end up catching that? And then that's going to be a penalty at the end of that. It's probably going to be helmet-to-helmet contact. So nice catch by Christian. Clear down to the 35-yard line. And it's going to be an unnecessary roughness, helmet-to-helmet type of hit. Going to be a 15-yard against the Thunderbolts. And a nice pass there by Jacob LeDuc.
Great ball by Jacob LeDuc. Christian Smith just doing a deep post there. And surprisingly, Christian Smith, after the helmet-to-helmet contact, able to hang on to the ball. Yeah. And now we got some positive momentum from Snowflake here. They need to hang on to this and dig in deep and go down and score.
So ball placed right at the 50-yard line. Approaching 10 minutes to go on this one. Trips to the right. Gian Jones, the lone receiver, to the left. LeDuc rolls to the right. Has Reedhead open in the flats. Threw it a little bit behind him and unable to come up with that one.
Yeah, in and out of the hands of Nash Reedhead. Unfortunately, would have been a pretty decent pickup for Nash, but just like you said, the ball was a little bit behind him and not able to hang on to that.
Brings up 2nd and 10. 10 minutes to go in this one. Same formation. Leduc back to pass. Throws it down to Gian. Throws it in the middle of the field. Gian, I think, was planning on that being kind of towards the sideline. Had maybe a step on him, but Leduc just didn't put it out there to where he could get a hold of that one.
I don't know if it was the position that we were at here, Pat. It looked like Gian may have given up on that one. I know the ball was in the middle of the field, but Gian had the step on him. I don't know if he just didn't see it, didn't get his head around, but it looked like he maybe could have cut in and made at least an attempt on that ball.
3rd and 10, same formation. Leduc back to pass. Here comes pressure. Another draw. Leduc with some room. Tries to cut it upfield, but met by number 9. Going to be pushed back. Going to get it all the way to the 44-yard line, maybe 43. So it's going to bring up 4th down. 4th down and 3 to go.
This has been a pretty big play for Snowflake all night long. It's one that they've ran well. Is setting up this little draw play for Jacob where he drops back and looks like he's going to pass deep and then opens the middle of the field up, and he's able to pick up some good positive yards, but still going to bring up a big 4th down for the Lobos.
Leduc back to pass again. Has Christian in the middle of the field. They are going to call a penalty on that. Fortunately for the Lobos, because I think that pass was a little bit too high. So that was going to be incomplete. And they did throw a flag. They're going to call pass interference on that one. That's going to give the Lobos a 1st down.
Yeah, Jacob Leduc looking 13 yards downfield for Christian Smith again, and just over the head of Christian. Christian goes up and in and out of the fingertips of number 1 for the Lobos, and fortunately for them, like you said, they're going to get a penalty on the play and going to give them a 1st down.
So 1st and 10 on the Thunderbolts 28-yard line. Best field position for the Lobos tonight by far. Actually in Thunderbolt territory. Leduc rolls to his left. Doesn't have anything. Throws it up in the end zone. Unable to come down with that one, but at least got it away. And towards one of the Lobos. That was Christian Smith again, the intended receiver. But unable to come down with that one. Going to bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Jacob doing all he can to scramble and buy some time for his receivers to get open, and then just drops back and launches it deep into the end zone and just over the head of Christian Smith. And I think there could have been a little bit of an argument for holding on that.
Yeah, I think he let go just at the right time to where the ref didn't call, because I actually saw the ref reach for his flag and then pull back. Here's Leduc again for a pass out to Reedhead. Caught. Only going to be a gain of 2 on that play, but a completion for Leduc. That's going to give him about 42 yards of passing tonight so far. Ball placed on the 27-yard line. 3rd and 9.
Yeah, Nash Reedhead just doing a good job that time of focusing on the ball and bringing it in. I wish we would have had this kid a lot longer this season. Just had to sit out half of the season due to eligibility reasons for moving in. And feel like he could have been a big part of the Snowflake offense this year.
Another flag on a play on 3rd down and 9. Fortunately, again, for the Lobos, it's going to be another pass interference call. So that's going to be a 10-yard penalty and a 1st down for the Lobos. So it's going to get the Lobos in the red zone. Ball placed on the 19-yard line.
Yeah, Snowflake needs to do everything they can to hang on to this momentum and go and put this ball in the end zone and get on the board. Mica Mountain now starting to play that role of shooting themselves in the foot and just several negative plays, which have really set the Lobos up to go in and score late in this fourth quarter.
Green up the middle, going to be a loss of 1 on the play. And going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Yeah, I hate to say it, Pat, but so far Green's kind of been a non-factor tonight in this game, and they've relied on him heavily this year and just hasn't been able to get much going for the Snowflake running game.
He is not. That's a completion, and I think that was again to Reedhead. Just a gain of 3 on the play. Going to bring up 3rd down and 8. So there's a pass completion to the corner of the end zone for Mason Rabin for the Lobos' first score of the night. That was a great adjustment by Mason and able to come back, find the ball, and score on that play. Nice job, nice throw, nice catch. Touchdown Lobos.
What a toss by Jacob Leduc. I don't think that ball could have been thrown any more perfectly. Mason Rabin literally turned his head. I don't even know if he knew that the ball was there, but his arms were out, and that ball was placed so perfectly by Jacob Leduc. Mason turned his head, and the ball was in his chest.
Yep, and you're exactly right. I mean, he turned his head, and that ball was right on the money, right at that number 5. So Lobos get on the board. So 7:30 left to go in this one. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week, presented by Toyota.
When it comes to paint, whether you're looking for interior or exterior paint, Dunn Edwards provides quality solutions to make all your painting projects look professional. And the home of Dunn Edwards in the White Mountains is Ace Hardware in Show Low, Pine Top, and Heber Overgard. Thanks to Dunn Edwards, Ace has the best interior paint for your home or office, and their exterior paint will stand up to the wear and tear of our tough seasonal weather. When it's time to paint, it's time to visit Ace Hardware of the White Mountains for high-quality Dunn Edwards interior and exterior paint and primer.
Step into the world where every bloom tells a story at the Bloom House Floral Design Shop. From enchanting decor to lifelike artificial florals that stay stunning year-round, we craft magic for your home, your holidays, and your biggest moments. Need a custom arrangement or a centerpiece that wows? We'll design it just for you. No fairy godmother required. The Bloom House, located in Pine Top and Show Low, is where imagination blossoms and every day becomes more beautiful.
So Lobos line up to kick here, Paul. 7.5 minutes to go. I think it might be a little too early to kick an onside kick. I think you kick this one away as they're doing. See if your defense can step up and get a stop, 3 and out. Nice job there by the Lobos. That's Hayden Nichols, of course it is. Just past the 20-yard line. Here's another flag on the play. See what this one is.
Looked like one of the Lobos players may have came in just a little bit late on that one. Yeah, I think one of Snowflake's biggest challenges now is just going to be this clock.
Oh, yeah.
They obviously got something going. They got something going in that last drive and were able to get on the board, but down 2 scores with 7 minutes left. I think this is just going to be a time and a numbers game, and if Snowflake can come up with a big 3-and-out stop here, that's what they need to stay in this ball game.
I'm expecting Mica Mountain to keep the ball on the ground, but they, like I said, they have found something off tackle there. And I can't believe that the refs are letting them do that. I didn't think you could do that in high school when you get a first down and you can point down the field. I didn't think you can do that, and I don't like it, to tell you the truth. But that's a first down for the Thunderbolts and bring the ball to their own 49-yard line. Going to be 1st and 10, approaching 7 minutes to go on this one.
Yeah, I think if Snowflake has any chance in this ball game, they've got to do something to contain that run. Mica Mountain, obviously, with almost 7 minutes left, is just going to try and eat this clock and get out of here with a win. But let's see if Snowflake can come up and shut this Mica Mountain run game down.
And in motion to the right. Going to hand it off. Nice job there by the defense. Stuffed him for a yard loss. He's 2nd and 11 from their 48-yard line.
Who other than Hayden Nichols, right up the middle, squeezing his way in, wrapping up the ankles of number 3, Jeremiah Anderson.
If this ends up being the last game for the Lobos of the year, that number 4, Hayden Nichols, is going to be missed for sure.
Yeah, he's had such a huge impact on this defense.
One of the seniors on this team. That ball just kind of thrown up in the middle of the field. That's where the Lobos miss Coulter Willis right there. I think Coulter Willis probably would have come up with the interception right there.
Yeah, looked like number 32, Riggs Tingy, might have just saw that ball just a little bit late. It had some zip on it. Had all the potential for maybe an interception, but I don't think that Riggs saw that ball in time to get his hands on it.
3rd and 10. One good thing, they threw an incomplete pass, stops the clock. The Lobos only have one timeout left in this game. Just under 6 minutes to go. Back to pass again. Over the middle of the field, makes a nice move, breaks 2 tackles, gets across the first line marker, and that's going to be a killer for the Lobos right there. That's going to come down to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, Snowflake middle backers both had an opportunity at tackling him short of the first down, but Jeremiah Anderson able to do some finagling and break away and pick up a first down and keep this clock running.
5.5 minutes to go. Thunderbolts on top, 21-7. This quarterfinal matchup, number 7 in the defending state champs, trying to stay alive here in this 4A playoff. There's another handoff. There's big Ziggy Olberg. Nice play by Ziggy.
I love it. For those not here, you get a big Olberg from the stands. Love penetration from that freshman, being able to get through and giving Mica Mountain a loss. Going to bring up a big 2nd and about 15.
Just to let everybody know on that Snowflake defensive line, they start a freshman, a sophomore, and 2 juniors are out there right now. So good things to come for the Lobos. Here's another little handoff up the middle. Nice job again by that defensive line. Number 50, Omar Marin. Number 55, Isaac Woodside. Omar Marin is a sophomore. 55, Isaac Woodside is a junior. 64, Jack Butler is a junior. And number 55, Isaac Woodside is a junior. So lots of good things happening for the Lobos. In the middle, you got number 4, Hayden Nichols, who's a senior, and then number 88, that's Connor Reed. He's also a junior. 3rd down and 16. Quarterback rolls to his right, looks downfield, has somebody open, trips over his feet. And that's number 13 looking for him there. He is open. He's just running that little corner route, kind of getting in between the safety and the defensive back, and he was open, just kind of thrown behind him and couldn't quite get turned around and get his feet set back and wasn't able to recover that. So 4th down, 16, 3:40 left to go.
Yeah, luckily for the Lobos there, number 13 could have been potentially another touchdown pass. Settled just in between the corner and the safety and tripped over his own feet. And it's going to force Mica Mountain to punt the ball away.
And they don't punt it away. They fake the punt, try to throw it in the middle of the field. And that is going to be a turnover on downs, giving the Lobos decent field position, better than they've had most of the night on their own about 41-yard line. So the Lobos staying alive here if they can get something quick
Yeah, 3.5 minutes here. They've got to go down and score. This isn't wishful thinking, but if they can take advantage of this field position and go down and score, they're still in this game, Pat.
If you never know what could happen on an onside kick, so there's still hope here, but the Lobos got to do something here with the ball. Leduc back to pass, throws it up to Green, unable to come down with that one. It looks like Leduc had room there. He had a pretty good pocket if he would have stepped up instead of back. Gave him a little bit more time to find one of those receivers. Had a pretty good pocket. Nice job by that offensive line, but kind of stepped back, and it looks like the ball was tipped and then just not able to come down with it. So 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, it looked like they might be trying to set up just a little bit of a screen pass there to Brenner, and Jacob maybe just hanging on just a little bit too long, and the pocket closed around him and created an incomplete pass.
Jacob doing a nice job, scrambling, getting downhill. That's where Jacob Leduc is an amazing athlete, is when he can get that head of steam and go downhill. That's what he's got. He's so strong. I mean, that kid squats over 450 pounds. I mean, there's not a whole lot of people that are going to bring him down when he's running downhill. So 1st and 10 for the Lobos. Leduc back to pass, has some time, throws it up in the middle of the field. Not exactly sure what he saw on that play, but maybe just got rid of it, found a hole, and dumped it to save it down. So stops the clock under 3 minutes to go, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Jacob looking downfield, pointing at one of his receivers. Looked like there was some downfield communication, like he was trying to get somebody to break through or get open, but ends up having to just throw it away. And Snowflake's got to keep this momentum going. Time is definitely going to become a factor here with just under 3 minutes left in the 4th quarter.
Little screen play to Brenner. So he tries to hit the outside, gets out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. That's going to be right at the right at the marker. Looks like he's going to be just a yard short, but nice little screen play by the Lobos. Stops the clock again. Going to be 3rd and 1.
Yeah, obviously Mica Mountain's done a good job of shutting down the running game, especially Brenner Green, and I like to see the adjustment by Snowflake now, trying to get Brenner out a little bit into the outfield and get him some passes and allow him to open up and run. And just a heads-up play by Brenner, getting out of bounds and stopping the clock.
Leduc trying to find somebody open, throws it up in the middle of the field. That's Rabin. Something that you don't teach your quarterback to do is go right and throw back to your left. Kind of hung that one up, but Rabin, great job coming back to that ball and making a great catch for a Lobo 1st down.
Yeah, Rabin had 2 defenders on him that hit him right away, but able to come back to the ball and go up and get it for a big 1st down.
Leduc rolling to his left, throws it to the feet of Reed Head. Didn't have much going on that play, so again, just smart play. Throw that thing away, live to see another down, and stop the clock. 2:23 left. 2nd and 10. Ball is on the 26-yard line of the Thunderbolts. You've got Christian Smith out wide here in this trips formation. Gian Jones up top. And he's going to Gian Jones. Has him. No flag. Looks like he might have got away with a little bit of a push there, but I can't see clear over on that other side. Going to bring up 3rd and 10. Looks like Gion's been limping around a little bit tonight, too. I'm wondering if he's feeling all right.
Yeah, Gian coming off of a torn ACL last year. Got a brace on that knee, and looks like he might be limping around just a little bit.
Pass in the middle of the field. That's to Rabin again. Comes up with it. Going to be a 1st down. Going to bring the ball all the way down to the 4-yard line. That was a different looking play. He kind of spread his receivers out left and right, and Raven hit the middle of the field wide open. Leduc hit him.
Yeah, you see Jacob trying to get the field going right, and turns around and throws back to Mason right in the middle of the field. And such an impressive catch by Mason Rabin, who I think drug it all the way down to his hip and held on to it, was able to hold on for a big completion and setting Snowflake up again to score another touchdown.
So the Lobos call a timeout. We'll keep it here. 1:54 to go on this one. Lobos need to get in the end zone on this next play. Give them a little bit of time. Try to get an onside kick and have a little time to do something with it.
Yeah, I think Snowflake has set themselves up here. If they can get in the end zone, create just a one-score game, and going to be on the 4-yard line. What do you do, Pat, as an offensive coordinator?
See, they're so focused on the run. I mean, just on that last play to Green, number 9. I mean, he hits Green every time at the line of scrimmage. We're not getting a bottom on it, so I'd have a hard time trying to run it here. It is only 2nd and 4. Maybe a quick slant out there to Gian. They're playing man-to-man out there. If you can make a good move on that outside on a quick slant, might work really well. But that's not necessarily who the Lobos are. And they've shown that play quite a few times, that little jump play to Reedhead. And the Thunderbolts knew that one was coming and played that one really well. So third down and goal for the Lobos here.
Yeah, Snowflake trying to do a lot of misdirection, acting like they're going to be, running up the middle to the right side with Jacob Leduc, and at the last second pulls up and throws to Nash Reedhead, and just over the head of Nash and not able to connect.
Here's Jacob Leduc up the middle, and that's what the Lobos needed right there, is a quick touchdown. Leduc gets in for the Lobos score. 21-13, these extra points are huge at this point.
That's just pure senior grit right there, Pat. Quarterback Jacob Leduc just tucking his head and pushing hard to get in for another Snowflake score, making this pending the kick a one-score ball game.
And that is up and good. Are you saying Leduc's a senior? Is that senior grit? Is that what you're saying?
Did I say senior grit? He's only a junior.
He's
Forgive
only
me
a junior.
on that.
I just want to make sure that we get that clear, that junior grit.
Junior grit.
There
Forgive
you
me
go.
on that. So much talent behind that kid. I got ahead of myself.
We're going to take a quick break before this play. We need to get back to see this onside kick.
According to eyewitnesses, the guy went in and didn't come out. That was 2 days ago. His wife is worried. His boss has called. The latest report says he didn't know what hit him. A lazy boy recliner called his name, and that was that. This may be a hostage situation. For the best selection of lazy boy recliners, sofas, and sectionals, head to the Furniture Gallery, where they have furniture so comfortable, it's almost a crime.
Lobos set up for the onside kick. And did that go 10 yards, Paul? They're going to call a penalty on something, but it looks like they played that pretty well.
Wow, what a play by Snowflake. Looked like they were just great onside kick. Ball was rolling really slow, and Snowflake did a good job of just coming up and hitting that front line. Oh, let's see what this call is going to be. I thought Snowflake did a really good job. Was it touched before it got 10 yards? That might be the only thing that comes into question here.
That is going to be the call, so.
Let's see if we can get a.
Coach Reddick absolutely livid out there. what they're going to call. Now he's giving him a penalty.
Here, let's see on this replay here if Snowflake touched the ball before it got to 10 yards.
I don't think they did.
I don't know if they did either, Pat.
I don't think that they touched that. So I don't think they're giving that to him, obviously.
Snowflake fans not happy about that call.
And I don't blame him. That's about as good of an onside kick, I believe, that you can get. I'm not seeing anything right there. I think they waited till the very last second when that crossed the 50-yard line to grab that onside kick. So, and then the 15-yard penalty. Snowflake with only one timeout left, so Mica Mountain, knowing them, they're going to try to score here. They don't want to take any chances. And here's a handoff up the middle, and there is a nice tackle by Hayden Nichols, of course. And Snowflake is going to take their last timeout.
Hayden Nichols doing just a phenomenal job coming up and filling that hole, making a great form tackle.
So that'll be the Lobos' last time out. 1:40 left to go in this one. According to the kicker, they're already in field goal range, I would say.
Did you see, Pat, what the call was from the umpire? They called
the penalty. Are you talking about the penalty?
I'm talking about on the onside kick.
Yeah.
Did they call on Snowflake touching before the 10-yard?
Yeah, and they gave them the ball. According to them, they touched the ball at the 48-yard line because you can see when they came out, they placed the ball on the 48-yard line. So they're saying they touched it 2 yards short, and then a 15-yard unsportsmanlike on a coach. Another run.
Snowflake defense now doing a good job of containing this run right when they need to.
And what's called here? Did Snowflake have more than? I thought they only had one timeout left.
Yeah, it looked like they had one more timeout. Snowflake's going to use their last timeout here with 1:35 left in the fourth.
So they're saying somebody touched it at the 48, which I don't see it there. I'm not seeing it. That whoever that is right there waits until it crosses the 50 and then grabs it.
It looked like it was literally on the line when it was touched. From what I can see from this replay, I don't see any adjustment in that ball until it is on that line.
Yep. Well,
unfortunately, we don't have instant replay here at the high school level.
Yeah. Can't throw your red flag. So here we go, 3rd down and 11, 1:35 left to go. High snap, quarterback's going to keep it, trying to get outside, is not going to get outside. He's going to be tackled back on the 35. So I'm thinking this will run down the clock to about a minute, under a minute to go. They'll kick I don't know, maybe they won't try to kick a. What are they? There's another flag on the play. What are they calling here?
Looks like it's going to be on Mica Mountain. We're just waiting for the call here. See what the White Hat's coming up with.
We have no idea what they're doing. Decline, 4th down. Going to be 4th down and long. So they'll place the ball. They'll start the clock. So this is going to run the clock down. Mica Mountain will just let this clock run down and probably call it time. Well, maybe they won't call it timeout. But if I was Mica Mountain, I'd run this clock all the way down. But they're coming out like they're going to go for it. I'm sure they're going to punt this here, try to pin the Lobos as deep as possible into their own territory. There's no way they're going to go for it here, I wouldn't think.
Looks like they're setting up to try and give a little bit of a hard count.
I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're saying on this. They just blew the whistle.
So they've stopped the clock at a minute. Mica Mountain quarterback run over to the sideline, almost like they called a timeout. Not sure why they blew this one dead if a timeout wasn't called.
Yeah.
I think a lot of confusion going on here from the Snowflake side. Wondering what the officials called.
Yeah, no idea what's going on right now. A minute on the clock.
Now it looks like Mica Mountain's going to take a timeout.
Yeah, I have no clue. No clue.
Well, fourth and about 14 here for Mica Mountain. This is a big play, Pat.
It absolutely is.
If you had to guess, what do you think? Do you think Mica goes for it here, or do you think they're going to try and punt and pin the Lobos deep?
There's no way they're going to go for it. There's no way. As well as their defensive play, I mean, they've got to try to pin the Lobos down deep. Their punter is coming out. Number 13 is their punter, and he's deep. So if you're the Lobos, you have to go after this punt. You have to go after it, see if you can get a block. But you got to be careful here too, because you don't want to hit the punter being aggressive trying to block it.
Yeah.
So
doesn't look like Snowflake's going to put anybody deep. I think they're planning on this one just going in the end zone. Going to be a short punt, but gets a favorable bounce.
Yeah, favorable bounce down to about the Lobo 13-yard line. So Lobos have work to do. Can they go 85, 86 yards in 51 seconds? I don't know if the Lobos have 86 yards total offense tonight. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying the Thunderbolts have done a good job against this Lobo offense tonight. I know that, let's see, we have 69, 74 yards rushing. Leduc rolls to his right. Going to hit Christian Smith on the sideline right, and he's going to say he was out of bounds. He caught it, but he was saying he was out of bounds. That'll stop the clock with 45 seconds left to go.
Yeah, that would have been a great first play for the Lobos to get a first down and stop the clock, but unfortunately Christian just not able to drag his feet enough and brings up another 2nd and 10 for the Lobos.
2nd and 10, trips to the right. Leduc rolling to his right again. Gonna throw in the middle of the field off of Raven's hand, intercepted. And that is going to do it for the Lobos tonight. Unfortunately, right through the hands of Raven. It was thrown a little bit high, but
not the way you want to end your season, Pat. That's a bummer for the Lobos. Headed in the right direction. Had great things going. Just a bullet pass to an open receiver, Mason Raven, and just a little bit over his head and unable to hang on to the ball, and a sealed interception by number 13.
Yep, and 1-0 down should do it for the Thunderbolts. So as the Thunderbolts wave to the Snowflake fans goodbye. So, well, that'll do it for the Lobos. Their season will come to an end here in the quarterfinals. This is the second time that these Thunderbolts and Lobos have met in the quarterfinals. The Lobos had the Thunderbolts beat in Tucson just a couple of years ago, and just a couple of unfortunate calls at the end of the game and ended up losing that one, and tonight losing this one 21-14. But hey, a great year by the Lobos. Great season. Went through the season 9-1. Couple of playoff wins. Well, I guess just one playoff win as they beat Eastmark last week, coming in with a first-round bye. But the one thing that's positive about this Lobo team is they're young. They are losing some really good senior players, Hayden Nichols, Gian Jones, Christian Smith, a few really good linemen, but other than that, the Lobos have a lot coming back next year. So
yeah, you always hate to see it for these seniors who aren't going to have an opportunity to step on this field again. But like you said, Pat, a lot of hope for this Snowflake team. A great first year by head coach Trevor Reddick. And we'll love to see this squad return a lot of its players, including junior Jacob Leduc.
That's right. Well, Paul, I'm going to just call out the seniors since this is their last game of the year. We'll just go through that really quick, and then we'll call this a night. We appreciate you listening in. But number 1, Christian Smith. Number 2, Irvin King. Number 4, Hayden Nichols. Number 7, Gian Jones. Number 15, Brock Brimhall. Number 18, Aiden Yarn. Number 26, Jackson Merrill. Number 32, Riggs Tingy. Number 44, Talmadge Lucas. Number 54, Tanner Flake. Number 67, Seth Farnsworth. 68, Wyatt Johnson. 71, Ethan West. Number 75, Weston Flake. And 78, Thomas Crockett. And 84, Kaiser Flake. Those are your seniors. We are sorry to see them go. What a great year they had. What a great football career they've had. And we appreciate you listening in. I'll just go through real quick. We appreciate our sponsors on this Friday night football game against the Lobos and the Thunderbolts. We appreciate Hatch Toyota, Ace Hardware, Bloom House, Hallmark, Perkins Cinders, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, White Mountain Regional Medical Center, Hatch Concrete, Furniture Gallery, Beeman Drilling, Cell One, Owens Energy. We appreciate all of those sponsors, and we will end this. You've been listening to the Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week presented by Hatch Toyota.